You are now listening to the voice of horror.
Lock your doors, bolt your windows, and turn off the lights. Make sure the kids are safe at home, cause you're headed to the night watch zone.
Let's get down to brass tacks.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
It's showtime!
Welcome to the Scream at Night podcast, your midnight home for all things horror, from Scream 7 theories to horror debates and deep dives into the darkest corners of the genre. As we dive deep into the shadows of fear, film, and everything that makes us scream, we'll be breaking down horrors past, present, and future every week, here where horror never sleeps.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
What's going on, everybody? It's a Saturday night, and we're here. We're here to rock and roll and talk a little bit, and also for a lot of folks, getting getting to the end of Christmas week. Hopefully, all of you had a great Christmas. But for anyone that hadn't been around for whatever reason, definitely we wish you guys the happiest of holidays as we head into the new year. It's absolutely crazy to think about. But, anyways, we're here to hang out tonight, and this will definitely be an episode on the Scream at Night podcast. Hopefully, you guys are following us. We are available on all platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Real quick, just to say see who's in here. We got what's up, Eric? The party people are here, bro. And Eric is back with the channel membership. Man, well, hey, thank you so much, bro. That is very, very nice of you. We appreciate you and hope that you're doing well. And hopefully we get a chance to talk, man. I told you we got to do some more theory talk, and tonight could be that night because there's some theories out there, and I want to hear theories from you guys as well. RJ, what is up? Hello, Night. Hope you had a great Christmas. I did, guys. I really did. And thank you so much, man. I hope your Christmas was great as well as everyone else. We were able to just kind of chill out and watch some Christmas movies. And that did include Die Hard. I just want to put that out there for you guys, especially the old school folks. We did watch Die Hard. That was definitely something that had to be done. What's up, Paula? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Solar Guy in the house saying yay. Hope everyone had a great holiday. Absolutely, man. Hope everyone here has had a great one. Scott, what's up, man? Thank you so much. Hope that you're doing well and your holiday was great. We got Lindsay in the house. Oliver's in the house. Channel member anniversary. 14 months. What is up, bro? Good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year from Toronto to everyone. 2 months till Scream 7 and Stew. Yeah, we got to talk about that, man. Will it be? That's a good question. We'll talk about that for sure. Kelly, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the Christmas wish. So many of you guys reached out and just giving personal Christmas wishes, and we really appreciated that. Definitely made the holidays even more special. Dudes in the house. Okay, I think the killer in Scream 7 is Paul from Scream 2. Happy Saturday. Well, that's a good one. We'll have to see. I've got a couple ideas though. And I know that there are a lot of folks out there that have thrown out their ideas, and we're gonna put them together tonight. DJ, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Mikey in the house. Oliver says he's the killer. Okay, yeah, there you go. Mikey, best show ever. I love horror since I was 10. Right? That's what I'm saying. How many of you guys in the chat were fans of horror, watching horror movies when you were 10 years old? I think I started mine like officially. I was like 7 or 8. And it was crazy, but I'm so glad that I started early. Oliver knows what's up. Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. No doubt. It's mandatory. That's right, Scott. Yes. And Mikey, if I could be a director, I would. I really would. But I don't think I have the talent for that. But I could definitely speak my mind on what I watch, though. That's for sure. Eric, what's up, man? Definitely, it's a Christmas movie. Hey, look, we got 2 comments in a row. Eric and Eric. What's I love it. What's up, Eric? What's up, bro? Stopping in briefly to check in. Hope everyone's doing well. Had a nice Christmas and a safe New Year. Take care. Yeah, man, absolutely. Much love to you as well. And I hope that yours was great too. I'm glad that you had some time off from work, right? Very cool. DJ was a fan of horror before 10. Dude's been a fan since the late 80s, 87 and onwards. There you go. Mikey, I appreciate you, man. Please, I believe in you. I appreciate that. Seriously, it was very kind of you, man. Seriously. And thank you so much for, watching for a long time. We not that I was going to start the stream off like this, but we've been at this for a while. And one thing that's really been cool is to just get a chance to meet so many people and make so many friends. I mean, some really good friendships that I never thought would have happened but they have, and then they've really changed. They changed my life. They really have. And that being said, our channel anniversary was actually a couple months ago, and I held off on it because of things going on. People that have been around, you guys know, um, and it just felt like I just couldn't really bring myself to do it at that time. And I don't know, we might still do it, or maybe just some type of party stream or whatever. Um, but that being said, there's a lot of evolution to what we've been trying to do on the channel, what I've tried to do, and everyone that's been a part of it, all of you guys, everyone that's been on panels, and obviously Coriander and Kill. And so anyways, we got some really cool stuff coming up. I wasn't really going to say anything about this tonight, but anyways, we do have some really cool stuff coming up. um, Special things that have been kind of in the works for quite a long time. And so hopefully, you guys just continue enjoying the community, enjoying each other, enjoying what we try to do, and the passion that we try to have, and the connection we try to have. And yeah, it's fun. It's still so much fun to talk movies. I still find myself, even in my day-to-day life, I don't get a chance to express that passion the way that I'd like to, but I can through this platform and through YouTube. So yeah. But Mikey, thank you so much for those kind comments. Seriously, I appreciate that. I started watching horror at 8, Oliver says, with Friday 13th. Jason, Jigsaw, and Billy are my best friends, right? Friday 13th started it for me too. If you guys have been around long enough, you know that the original, that's where it started for me. And it just took me on down the line. Halloween, Elm Street, and then so many others since then. No doubt about it. Night Watch Studios. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. That does sound great. And who knows, who knows, but it's fun to just get a chance to hang out and talk and do content and stuff like that. But I appreciate that, man. Um, Night Watch Studios is great. What's up? Melissa's in the house. What's up, Melissa? Melissa saying, how come, or how Coriander's never see her name? Well, and for you guys that have been around, I mean, life's, so to speak. And we've got two young ones here who she's actually entertaining them now. So, there's a lot of, for a content creator, there's a lot of sacrifice that you make. Sometimes you don't even know that you make it. And I think this time of the year illustrates it a little bit. You start to kind of look around, and you see what's important, and you prioritize that in your life and so forth. But still, for Slasher Movie Club, she's still enjoying doing that, Melissa. So you got to stay with us on Mondays, because we've been doing Slasher Movie Club. We didn't last week because of schedule and the holidays, but we will be doing it this Monday. Our good friend Michael from the Carbonite Jedi will be with us as we talk some Black Christmas, which we watched last week for members and Patreon members and so forth. So if you guys haven't hung out with us, we've been having a blast. And Michael, these have been first time watches for him. We've been watching the Friday the 13th movies every single time. It's been hilarious, and he's so gracious. And it's almost like I get a chance to see these things through the eyes of someone who's never seen them, which is cool. So anyways, yeah. Let's see who else we got in here. Night Owl, what's up? Yeah. If the leaks are real, it seems kind of meh. Oh, talking about Scream 7. Interesting. And and there are a lot of leaks. And as you guys know, as we get closer and closer to February and so forth, there's going to be leaks, spoilers, and so forth. So, we don't do any of that stuff here. And I try my best to shield you guys from anything. And anytime I do talk about a movie, even a new movie, like for instance, we just got finished watching Stranger Things, and it was awesome to watch it with the family. But I try to make sure I let people know if I'm gonna say anything that is spoilery. So Eric said, "Knight, I got the equipment, man. You just come up with the story, and we'll make a movie." Now, see, that's cool, man. I like that. See, you got to have people that want to step in with you and be a team. Eric, I would love to do something like that. And you never know. I never say no. But I'm gonna tell you what, Eric, man, you're talented, bro. I was telling Jake, I was telling Jake that, that you guys and making that short. And it was it less than 24 hours or less than 12 hours? I can't remember what it was, but that was awesome. And you were awesome in it. I was like, bro, he need Eric needs to be in a movie, like, big time. That was great. That was so cool, man. Um, and RJ saying I started watching horror at 13. First experience was Child's Play. Ooh, that's a good first experience. I like that. That's cool. So we got some Chucky people in here. We got Jason people. That's awesome. What's up, Jerry? Good to see you, Jerry. Hope you're doing well, brother, and happy holidays. And Melissa, I will tell her hi. As a matter of fact, it would not surprise me if she is watching right now, because a lot of times she'll just hang out in the chat and kind of check out how things are going and so forth. But I will tell her that. Gene, what's up, Gene? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, now this is good. Mikey is saying, do you think there'll be another Friday 13th movie? I watched the ones on YouTube. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. I guess we'll start there. We're gonna get to Scream because I do want to talk about a couple things and some theories and hopes and dreams, but also some fears. I think that's a good one to throw out there. Some fears. There will be another Friday 13th movie. Okay, the question is when. I know that sounds cliche, but that's really the question. It's not, if there will be another one. It's when. And personally, I just think they just got to put aside all the differences, between, Victor's side of things and Sean Cunningham. Let's just make a movie, guys. There's a certain window that is ripe for the taking, and that window might be closing very soon on Friday the 13th. And as you guys know, I'm one of the biggest Friday 13th fans. Like, I don't know many fans are big as a fan of the franchise as me personally. That's not to sound egotistical, but I'm telling you guys, I've watched these movies so many times over the decades. It's crazy. And even my brother, who's a huge fan in Coriander, I mean, it's like they look at me like I'm crazy. It's just one of those franchises I love, but I hope that they get their stuff together because I think the window of opportunity, it's ripe right now. You still have the Scream films that are making a lot of money. The fan base is great for that. Halloween just came off of their trilogy. You've got some other slashers that have been doing well, whether it's Terrifier, Thanksgiving, Hard Eyes was trying to do something, Silent Night, Deadly Night. So this is the time to do it. This is really the time to do it. And I just hope that they don't wait too long. You know what I'm saying? But there will be another one, and I just hope that it's soon. And all of these kind of false starts, it's crazy. It's like, come on, guys. This is Friday the 13th for as far as the legacy horror franchises. Friday the 13th is one of the most simple ones. It's lean and mean. You know what I mean? You got a story at the camp, you've got a killer, you've got some people to kill. Adults and the cops are, few and far between. There you go. There's your movie. Have some scenes at night. Boom. So hopefully they do it soon. I really do. Night Owl saying, I started my physical media collection. I'm surprised Scream doesn't have a proper box set for collectors. That's a great point, man. That is a great point. Because I'm going to tell you what, and I got it right behind me, literally right behind me, the Friday 13th box set that Scream Factory did. It's one of the greatest things of all time. It's one of my most prized physical possessions in my collection. Halloween's was okay. Halloween's was okay. And of course, they've done different versions of it. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that know it a lot better than me. Obviously, Elm Street, they started trying to figure things out, finally waiting forever to do that. But you're right. Scream should really have, that signature box set for collectors. It wouldn't surprise me if that's something that's not going to happen soon, though. I think Scream is getting to a certain point, which is kind of tied into what I wanted to talk about tonight about 7 needing to be iconic and why. Bearded saying 48 Hours Film Fest. Okay, 48 hours, but still, bro, it's amazing you guys were able to do that. Seriously, that was just so cool, man. So cool. I was telling that to Jake. We did, I think it was on one of our Thursday night streams, obviously, weeks ago. But I was just telling him because when I watched it, I was like, this is friggin' good. There's no way that you guys did it in that short of a time. But hats off to all of you guys. Seriously. I just want to catch up to the rest of you guys. I know there are a few comments I didn't get a chance to see. All of a sudden, do people still refer to Chucky as the Child's Play franchise? I don't know. I think, it's kind of, you know, they've made a fork in the road, just like with Jason and Friday the 13th. Although I think it's still comfortable for people, including myself, to say Friday the 13th. To be honest with you. I hope for another Halloween movie too, Melissa. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's getting close to 2028, guys. And if that's 50 years for the franchise. They got to do something. They will. It's really a question of what. And I've talked about that ad nauseum. You guys know we've done tons of Halloween content on the channel. I think they have to go with a fresh story, which is challenging. As much as I love the mythology and Halloween and Michael and so forth, there is a narrow lane that they operate in as far as the franchise is concerned. Personally speaking, I think they should do a story where there is no Laurie Strode. It could almost be like an Elseworld type of thing. Laurie isn't involved in this story, and we kind of segment it onto other characters and so forth, different situations and so forth. And we can build on his mythology like sideways, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Like we know his origin in a way. I mean, let me back up. There's a lot we don't know about Michael, and that's the beauty of Michael Myers, right? But we know that he killed Judith when he was young. He was sent to Smith's Grove. He escaped. Okay, so we know all of that. We know what comes after that when he escaped and he went after Laurie and Linda and Annie. What I think we should do is go sideways, have him go after other people for whatever reason, set that up, great characters and so forth. And I think that would be a great way to do it. That would be a great way to do it. Of course, it all comes down to execution as always, always. Oh, you met the new Jason? What? He was the coolest guy. You could tell he's a huge fan of the franchise. Really? That is cool. Was he at a convention, Eric? You have to let me know. Ooh, that is awesome, bro. And Oliver, man, don't get me going on Saw. I'm just so frustrated that we weren't able to really kind of piggyback off of what they were able to do in Saw X, which was fantastic. It was fantastic. And I know there are a lot of people that even maybe here who aren't big into the franchise, and that's fine. I love the franchise. I really do. And I think for as many movies that there are in that franchise, they've made more hits than strikes, for sure. There's really only two in the franchise that I think are, I don't want to say that they're not bad, but they're definitely the weak links. So I don't know what they're going to do. The only thing I'm happy about, Oliver, and let me know what you think. The only thing I'm happy about is that James Wan is back in the driver's seat, pretty much, as far as the production company. And I can only hope if anyone can keep this thing going and make it good for at least the foreseeable future is James Wan. I trust James Wan with anything. He's literally he never really lets me down. When he has that direct working relationship with projects. I'm not talking about when he just he signs his name because he's an executive producer on something that he never even saw or whatever. Double pun there. Never Hike Alone. Yeah, that was good, man. I agree with that, Mikey. That was good. I mean, we've been living on the YouTube movies, Never Hike Alone and all of those. You know what I'm saying? So DJ agrees they should do a 30th anniversary. Yeah, man. I mean, here we are, right? We're right around the corner from the 30th anniversary. It's crazy. No doubt. Night Owl saying, what's your favorite Elm Street movie that isn't the original Warriors or New Nightmare. Now listen, let me also say this, Night Owl. We did a huge ranking of the big three. We've also done a ranking of Elm Street alone, but we did the big three, and it always comes down to to these three movies for me, anyways. I'm gonna tell you this: I love New Nightmare and Dream Warriors. New Nightmare was just so creative, and I love it. But I'm just saying, man, the Dream Warriors, that's just so good. It's just so good. I got to go with Dream Warriors. When I saw that as a kid, it was a moment. It was a vibe. I'll never forget that. And for me, anyways, it's always a question of is Dream Warriors better than the OG? And I can't lie. Sometimes I can go back and forth. I do have a definitive answer, and when we've ranked Elm Street, I've given that answer. But yeah, Dream Warriors for sure. I love New Nightmare though. Um, your local theater did a Saw marathon. Ooh, dude, I wish I could have been at a Saw marathon. Polar's in the house. What is up? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well and hope you've had a good holiday. Mikey said, do you think Jamie Lee will come back? I'm never gonna say never. She's even said, first of all, I love Jamie Lee. I know there's a lot of people that whatever, but like for me, she just has achieved that status. She's just always going to be special. But she even said something to the effect of making it sound like she'd come back. So I'll never say never, but I definitely don't think I don't think the franchise should lean on her, for right now, and even for the foreseeable future. I just don't. I think that they need to build new stories, new branches, and kind of go in a different direction of sorts. So, but I love Jamie Lee. Laurie Strode is one of the greatest of all time, no doubt. Hey, we got Val in the house. What's going on, Val? Um, Look, we got 37 months for Val. I mean, this is crazy. What are we doing here? Val, thank you so much. Seriously. Much appreciated. You know that. Much love to you. We've got the Michael emojis. We got the pumpkin emojis. We got the Loomis emojis. I love it. Thank you so much, Val. Seriously, 37 months. That is absolutely boggles the mind. You're talking about an OG, an OG. The general is the OG. Mikey said, no more Rob Zombie Halloween 2. Well, look, I mean, I will say this, if nothing else, it kept a discussion going. It really, really did. No doubt at all. Had some good moments, and I've made no bones about it, what I've thought about certain things in it. But it had some good moments. It really did. So let's see who else is in here. A Halloween show in the style of Welcome to Derry. Yeah, that could be fun. Welcome to Derry, guys. If you have not watched Welcome to Derry, I'm telling you, it was absolutely amazing. It is better than the It films. And I enjoyed the It films, especially chapter 1. But somehow this show outdid the films in story, in chemistry, in the acting, and also in Pennywise. I mean, Pennywise is iconic. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Whew. Hey, Denisha's in the house. What is up? Say, hey, Night. Just wanted to show my love. Thank you so much, Denisha. We appreciate that. We've got our first super chat of the night. And listen, guys, and I don't usually use this feature, but I was like, I'm gonna try to use this thing. We've got our super chat counter, and hopefully we can get some more. But Kill and I, well, the bottom line is we're looking to maybe stream again. We've had some end of the year type of discussions. We're like, man, we should just do this with a community. So that's what we're looking to do. So thank you so much for starting that off, Denisha. Very cool. Let's do a super chat clip. And also for all you guys that are here and the anniversaries and all the love. Sometimes you just got to know what to do and how to do it. And these guys, they know how to do it.
We're fine. Bullshit! You're sitting there like a fucking baboon. It is not in the file. It is not.
Shit.
There we go. All right. Thank you so much, Tanisha, and everyone else. Eric saying he was at Whorehound. Okay, all right. Dude is bigger than me, too, and full sleeve tattoos. Asked him if he was going to be Jason in the full length movie, and he said, I'm still under contract. Wait, there you go. That's awesome. Yeah, man. That is awesome. But I'm glad that you got a chance to meet him, and he was cool. You know, that's always the best part is when you get a chance to meet, some of these actors and artists and stuff, like when they're actually fun to talk to and they're actually approachable. I love it. I love it, man. That is awesome. Wrestling God, what's up? Good to have you here saying, I think Scream 7 will be iconic. There are some ways. I think they're doing it to make it that way. Like, think about Nev Campbell with Sydney in it. Oh, you mean because Sydney is in it? Okay, well, let me start this. I'll start this part of it off. So let's go to Scream 7. And there's a couple things that have been on my mind about it. There's a lot writing on Scream at this point. It doesn't just need to be good, in my opinion. It needs to be iconic. Okay, we're gonna break down what that means. I think that kind of means something different to everyone. Does it need more legacy energy? Does it need to take bigger risk? Does it is even trying to be iconic a good idea? Sometimes when you swing for the fences, you kind of miss the mark. But to me, I think that it needs to be. And part of the reason of that too is because of what has happened in the last two films. There's been some big missteps, but also, and we've talked about this a little bit here. You guys let me know what you think. The marketing, I just feel like the marketing has also been just kind of blah. Now, part of that is timing, right? Because you get the trailer right around Halloween. That's cool. That was fun. That had us going for weeks, obviously. And now you're heading into Christmas time, and it's probably not a great time, as far as Scream to do a lot of, just it's the type of time where horror is just not on people's mind. It is for us, right? For people that are huge into horror, big horror fans and so forth. But even things like Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is literally a Christmas horror film, I feel like it hasn't had as much like hype as it should, right? So I think it was kind of smart of them to kind of hold off on the second trailer. We thought we were going to get it a few weeks ago. We didn't. Now a lot of people are talking about the first week in January. That would make sense. I think it's definitely got to be before the middle of January, or else the timing just doesn't work, especially if there is another. But you also got to think about other things like posters, character posters, all of those types of things. I think that it will be coming out soon, the second trailer. I just feel as though the timing has just been a little off, and it's just been really dry, which, it is what it is. Perhaps they're waiting. Perhaps they're thinking, okay, well, we've got the ace in the hole with Nev Campbell coming back. We've got all these former characters that are coming back and people that have been a part of the franchise coming back. I don't know if that really makes a big difference. Because let me tell you what, I've got a few cousins that I'm really close with, a couple buddies, and they're not deep into horror like I am, obviously. They don't even know that Matthew Lillard's coming back, right? And that's fine. Maybe in the next trailer, if it's revealed, maybe that'll turn up some hype. But I don't know. I just feel as though that the marketing has been really blah, and I'm just like, I don't know, but I feel like 7 has maybe the most pressure out of, all of these films. 5, we're back in the saddle. It's the first one without Wes. But I think it was more of, we're glad we're still getting a Scream film. And we had people that were very respectful of Wes and, what Wes and Kevin did. And they had some good films behind their backs, as far as we're talking about Radio Silence. So I don't think that there was as much pressure for that one, and I don't think 6 had as much pressure either, but I feel like 7 does. And you could chalk that up to a lot of things, including all of the controversy beforehand and, Christopher Landon's exit and obviously Melissa and Jenna and so forth. But I also think the direction they're going in, because as much as Nev coming back is a great thing and it's an advantage, I think it also kind of traps people a little bit because now it's like, okay, well, Sydney's in the movie. Sydney's not dying. Okay. That's just not going to happen. So, how do we still evoke a great story, tension, fear, concern for her or other characters or what have you? And what does that even mean? Because now we're so segmented, right? We've got the Meeks twins coming back. So how does that weave in? What are they going to say about Sam and Tara? How much of the old plan are they, using or not? This and that. So there's a lot of questions. But I really feel as though they must feel confident enough because eight's been greenlit. They must feel confident enough. And that's fine. But for me, I'm just hoping that the story kicks ass. That's the big thing for me. I just want the story to be awesome. And I think there's a chance that it will be. I really do. But I'm not gonna lie. I have some concerns. I, I really do. I mean, I suppose most fans do, but anyways, that's where I want to start off, guys. Do you guys think, like, for all of us that are Scream fans, where are you at in your fandom? Like, are you still like super jacked up about Scream? Obviously we're talking about especially the last two films because they're the most recent, right? And those are the ones that kind of took us down another road. And of course, now they've had to totally ditch that path, so to speak. So let's start from there. You guys let me know what you feel as a Scream fan. Are you still 100% jacked up, or do you have some concerns? That's the first question that I want to broach and talk about. So real quick too in the chat, with Acres in the house, what's up? Make Ghostface a Martian. I hope not. Let's not go to space. Friday the 13th is the only one that can go to space and make it work, which I'll be honest, even before I saw Jason X, I did not think that was going to work. I really didn't, but somehow they made it work. Kelly said, my fear for Scream 7 is that it's going to be recycled ideas, nothing that makes it fresh. Yeah, I know. This film could go, it's literally like a fork in the road. This film, this story that's, centered on Sydney and her family, it could really feel kind of like a paint by numbers. It could. I'm just going to be honest enough to say that. And I love Sydney Prescott. I love Nev. I almost had a chance to meet her, guys, and I'm still kicking my ass to this day that it just didn't work out because she had a schedule conflict. But I was so close. Oh, just thinking about it. But it could be paint by numbers. It really could. And I know some people, and you guys, let's talk about it. Let me know here. Some people have said that's what they think is going to happen because, this is the film to kind of get back into this particular type of groove with Sydney. So it could be boring, quote unquote boring, still good, but boring as far as fresh ideas. Or, of course, the other way is possible too. It could totally take some really cool swings. I hope it does. For me, and you guys, I'm sure you guys have some great ideas too. For me, making it fresh, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily reinventing the wheel, but you could have some really cool things happen in this film um, that can make it feel fresh. There are certain ways that you can do things and even just the feel of it. And I do hope with Kevin back on board and kind of running things and helping to write this thing, I just hope that the characters pop better. Like, I want to be invested in these characters. I want to care for them, and that's an important thing in the Scream films because unlike Elm Street or Halloween or TCM or what have you, the Scream films are about the characters. Yeah, Ghostface is the villain, and very a focal point of sorts, but it's about the characters. It's about the characters. So I think that it would be very cool if we got back to a Scream film that had great chemistry between the characters, great dialogue, great scenes to make them stand out. We could be talking about some of these characters in 7 years from now. That's what I would like. Will we get that? I think we've got a great shot. I think we've got a great shot, with Kevin behind it, but we will see. So Kelly, I totally see where you're coming from. Hopefully it's not just recycled. Val saying it worries her too. Yeah, yeah, it's there. It's definitely a true fear. Oliver saying I think James will take it back to basics. He will take it back to being simple, fixing the mistakes, making the timeline better. See, now when you say it like that, Oliver, I mean, throw this out here, and I know you're a huge Saw fan, obviously. The question is, how do they fix the timeline? I have a couple of things that run through my head. Some of it is kind of out there, and someone's like, that could work. I'm wondering, what do you think? How do you think he could fix the timeline? Yeah. Okay, let me catch up. Let's see. Night Owl saying, sorry, my question was more like which one is your favorite that isn't one of those three? Okay. Everybody chooses one of those three. I want to know your favorite that isn't Dream Warriors or New Nightmare, or obviously the original. I probably I'm not it's not Freddy's Dead. I'm gonna just say that out loud. And if anyone loves Freddy's Dead, that's fine. It's just, at that point in the franchise, I was toast. I was just like, nah, we're not gonna do this. Has some good moments, for sure. It really, really does. But overall, I just like, no. I would probably go with 4. I think 4 had some great moments. I love some of the dream sequences, the Roach Motel, still one of my favorite nightmare sequences in the whole franchise. And I think they were piggybacking off of Dream Warriors enough. And also, Rennie Harlan had, he had great vision, some great designs, and it was kind of like the MTV Nightmare, so I kind of dug that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I said this in my Why You Hate. I enjoyed Freddy's Revenge. I really did. I know there's a lot of people that are like, what? I hate that film. But maybe it's because that was the first Elm Street I ever saw. I saw part 2 before I saw the original. And of course, when I saw the original, I was like, well, okay, well, this is this is the greatest thing ever. But part 2 is nostalgic for me. But I also think that Freddy was devious as shit. Freddy was devious as shit in Nightmare 2, and I loved it. I got a chance to meet quite a few of the cast from 2 at the last convention we went to. And well, actually, no, it was 2 conventions ago, and it was awesome. Kim Myers, just Mark Patton, all those guys, just great. So I'll throw that out at you, night owl. See what you think of that. But overall, I probably would choose 4. I think. Let's see. I'm catching up. Hey, we got Kenny in the house. What's up, Kenny? We got Hollywood guy in the house. Let's see. Who else? Gory Tiger's in the house. And Hollywood guy's got a channel member anniversary, 26 months. Oh, wow, man. Very cool. Just over 2 years, man. Time flies, Hollywood guy. It really does. But thank you so much. We really appreciate you always being here, always throwing out good questions, always being so positive in the chat, and the support. It helps us to do what we do. It also helps us to do what we don't do, if that makes any sense to anyone. Working, some of you guys may know. So now, working days, it's really changed everything in my life. And it's also changed my time availability in a way. Well, it definitely has, not in a way, it has. So being able to take the holiday and kind of, do the family thing, which is so important, and it's good for balance. we're able to do that because, we have the support that you guys give. And it makes a big difference. So thank you so much. He's saying, "Hey, Knight, it's been a long time. Glad to be here." First of all, it's been a long time since we've streamed. So let me just say that. So I'm glad to be here. And I also want to say, too, and not to take away from you, Hollywood guy, but I want to say this. The other day, I was wishing Merry Christmas to everyone. And our good buddy Russell was in the comments for the channel members, which, by the way, guys, check out the community tab. There, well, I'll tell you guys why. And, he was saying, and I hope he doesn't mind me passing this on, but I mean, he did put it in a public place like the community tab. But he was talking about, spending the holidays alone. And I thought to myself, you know, I feel so bad, and I wish that I could do something, what can you do, right? But I told him, I said, hopefully, we get a chance to stream on Saturday. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to be quite honest. And I said, I hope we get a chance to stream so, folks can hang out and say hi to each other in the chat and, all that nice stuff. And anyways, it just made me think that, this community, there's a lot of great stuff about this community. So, I'm glad that we were able to stream, but also, like I was saying earlier, having that type of support, it allows us to sometimes take the time that we need as well. Um, and so, anyways, thank you, Hollywood guy. But saying, I'm worried there's not enough marketing for Scream 7. It could hurt the movie. It could. And that's what I was saying earlier. It really could. And I'm curious. I'm really curious. I mean, I think once we get the second trailer, we kind of get a vibe of what's going on. We'll all be talking about it for sure, but it'll be interesting to see how all that works in the bigger picture. I hope the plan is, and I know it would be my plan. I hope the plan is for them to hit the ground hard and go with the marketing, you know, character posters and some social media things and the trailer and maybe even some of the actors doing a little talking here and there. I think that that's all great stuff and they need to do it. They really do. Hey, what's up? Talking Star Wars in the house too. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Seriously. Coming in with a $2 super chat. Hey, thank you. How long into 7 do you think we'll know who Ghostface is? Ooh, that's a great question. Well, and I've talked about this. I'm pretty sure I know who the Ghostface killers are. I'm pretty sure I'm right on at least one of them, but I could be wrong. And I'll be quite honest. When I sit down to watch it, I hope that I'm 100% wrong and the whole thing surprises the hell out of me. But if I'm going by the last couple of movies, I think it's quite possible that we'll know it easily by at least halfway through. I think the magic of Scream right now, or the possible magic, isn't so much us not knowing who Ghostface is, but it's the reveal of it, how it comes into play, the motivation, that type of thing. And also a twist. I mean, you can go all the way back to 96, and that twist was amazing. We saw Billy 1,000 miles away. And throughout the whole movie, you're shifting back and forth like, oh, well, maybe he isn't Ghostface. Oh, maybe he is. And you're literally going back and forth the whole time. When he gets stabbed, quote unquote, stabbed in Sydney's bed, in the bedroom, not Sydney's bedroom, but Stu, but you know what I'm saying. And you're thinking, well, shit, maybe he's not. Guess what? He is. And we were so focused on that. We were so blinded by all of that. Is he, isn't he? We didn't even see Stu. Most people didn't see it. And that reveal was great. That's what they need to do for 7. I think that in a way was so masterful, crafting the reveal like that. Kevin, it was just great because it's almost like they've got 2 ways to surprise you, 2 ways to fool you, and it worked. It truly did. Um, but honestly, I think the way things have been going, and plus we're so in tune with it now. That's the other part. Like the disadvantage of Scream, like there's advantages and disadvantages. You guys tell me what you think. The advantage is that you have all these great characters that you come to enjoy and get attached to. And as they're attacked or possibly killed, it's a huge emotional thing, right? Whereas something like Friday the 13th, you don't get attached to those characters in the same way. Some you do, but I'm talking about overall in the movie. It's like it's a much lesser amount in a Friday film than a Scream film, right? The other thing is the mystery. The mystery is a huge advantage, or at least it used to be. Now we're all playing, Scooby Doo, try to figure this thing out, months, a year, or longer before it even comes out. And sometimes we piece it together pretty well. So I think now it's almost like don't lean so much into the mystery of it, but the reveal, how it all comes out, and the motivation. I think that's what you could still have a lot of magic for in the films. So. All right. Uh, Melissa, thank you so much for that, by the way. Seriously, I appreciated talking Star Wars. That was a great question. Melissa, I'm wondering when Thanksgiving 2 is coming out too. Seriously. I know that there was a lot of delays and stuff, but yeah, I cannot wait for that. I really can't. Dude saying concerned it will be as visually bland as 4 through 6 again, concerned that the motive will be another whiny one like 5 and 6. Other than those issues, though, I think it'll be a better film to 4, 5, and 6. Really? Okay, so I wanted to wait a little bit to do this, but let me start putting this out there because now I'm really wondering. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the chat a poll. What I want to know is what you guys think of the sequels, because I know there are a lot of people that are fans of all three. So I mean, and there's no shame in it all. I love all these movies. So, but some are some are better than others. So let me put this in a poll. Okay, so the question is, what is the better sequel? Okay. And obviously we're going to put in we're going to do 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and we're going to have you guys vote and let's see what people say because I'm so curious. Let's see. We got 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so let's have you guys, once I make this live, let's have you guys vote and just tell me what you guys think because I'm curious too. So, what's the better sequel? Is it Scream 3, 4, 5, or 6? And we also, if I can do this correctly, hopefully this shows up. Okay. And we also have some memberships we're also gifting out. So, hopefully, you guys see that and welcome to all those who might receive it. But good point, dude. Look, the motives, at least in 5 and 6, look, it's recycled. Okay, I don't think it's necessarily just the motive though, but I think it's also how it's revealed and how it's presented. I mean, we've talked ad nauseum about Bailey and how just some of that was just some ridiculous shit. It is what it is. 5 to me, I think came off better, and that's because I think as a group, Richie and Amber were better. I really started to come around a lot more on Amber. I've talked about that. That whole reveal when she shot Liv, that was fantastic stuff. And I think Richie was great. Jack Quaid is amazing. We knew it was him though, so that kind of takes it away a little bit. But anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. But let's vote in the chat. I'll be checking on that. Let's see, we got Tanza in the chat. Honestly, think a lot of Stu fans have got their hopes way too high. I think Ghostface is bringing Stu, Roman, and Dewey back with AI to taunt Sydney. It's definitely going to be taunting. There's no doubt about that. Maybe what we'll also do a little poll on is do people think Stu is coming back in the flesh? That's the big question. Is it going to be in the flesh or not? And we've got 12 votes in the chat. Let's go, guys. Let's do this vote. Let me know if you're a bigger fan of 3, 4, 5, or 6. We've got cards coming in. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Saying if they bring Stu back just as AI, I will be pissed. Also, would love to see a ghost face at Christmas time wearing an all-white robe at some point. Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you what, the folks that did It's a Wonderful Knife, they were like, we'll do it. We'll do an all white villain, in a robe. It looked great. I thought it looked really cool, that design for the killer. Scream should do it, but I don't foresee it, anytime soon. Well, at least not right now, anyways. We'll see. Who knows? We might get surprised. But yeah, I agree. It'd be cool to see that just visually. That's what I want. I want some cool attack scenes, some tension, bring out some horror again. I think that scene that we saw in the trailer where they're in the crawl space, I think that could be a fantastic sequence. I hope they don't fuck it up. I really hope. I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to work out because that's a position you don't want to be in. But I think we could also, have some great moments with the kills. Not any of that crap we saw like in 5 with Vince where they just get poked and that's it. I want to see some great sequences. If you think about 2 with the chase, with Gale's chase, that was fantastic, man. If you think about even although I know it was 2 Ghostface killers and 3, the chase, Sydney's chase, into the fake house, that was great. Casey's death, right at the last minute, trying to run away from Ghostface. It's iconic stuff, iconic imagery. And the problem is 5 and 6. I know it probably seems, and even when I'm saying it, I hear myself, sounds like I'm just ragging on 5 and 6. I'm not, but they're the most recent films. But I do think they have some similar weaknesses. I think with 5 and 6, they had moments where Ghostface looked really great in the camera, and that's cool, but it's almost like they just couldn't stick the landing. I want some great sequences. 6 had a great sequence when obviously you had Sam and Tara and Chad being chased, but they messed it up because of the Chad attack, which should have been a kill. So, again, it's crazy. If they bring Stu back as just AI, I agree. I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be upset if that's all that it is. I do think that they are bringing him back as AI, okay, to fool Sydney and to fool us. That's pretty meta, right? Because a lot of people are wondering. But I just feel like, bro, if Matthew Lillard is not Stu in the flesh, why even bring him back? I wouldn't even want him to do just AI. Just don't bring him back and just say that he's dead and that's it. Okay. Let's see. And Tanza saying I actually like that they had 3 ghost faces as the killers in 6. I agree. I think it was great to have 3. I just wish they were better ghost faces. I really do. You look at some of the logic in the film, it didn't really work. Ethan is sitting there like, you literally just could have killed Mindy on the subway and you didn't. Why? It just didn't make sense. It really didn't make sense. Bailey was whiny. Quinn was the only good ghost face, after the reveal, right? Like I felt like there was some cool stuff there, but she didn't have enough to do. So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Paula's in the house. What is up? Hope you're doing well, Paula. Kelly saying, I don't think they would announce Matthew back as Stu just for AI. It would make no sense, and I would feel baited just to buy a ticket. A lot of people will. A lot of people, if that's what happens, a lot of people would, I should say. But it remains to be seen. I'll tell you this. My my percentage on it has gone down a little bit, and I do have some videos I'm working on that will kind of explain that. But I just feel like I agree. Why bring him back unless you're going to actually have him in the film, like alive in the flesh? And again, I'm thinking it's going to be near the end. I think they're going to kind of bait us back and forth throughout the film with just is he alive or not, and play with Sydney's mind. Um, Eric's coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, man. $10 super chat, man. Wow. Thank you so much, brother. Seriously. I'm still excited about 7, but I think it's already showing some potential issues. Yeah. We can't totally focus on Sydney because we know she won't die. And I fear they're going to say Stu has been dead all along. Now, Eric, let here's my thing. This is where I get kind of lost in the weeds too. I have a feeling, first of all, for the filmmakers, like the whole thing about Stu is just so much back and forth. You've got people in both camps that believe he's alive, that believe he's dead. It's a lot of talk and so forth. There's a part of me that feels like they won't, if he's not in this film or if he's just AI, that they won't specifically say that he's been dead all along, or there won't be any proof. I'm assuming what you're saying is they're gonna like give concrete, definitive proof that yeah, he's dead. He's totally dead. He's been buried in whatever cemetery or whatever. I don't know, man. It seems like that would be almost as bad as bringing him in just as AI, because then it closes that loop on that discussion. Also closes the loop on, what if at some point they have a kick-ass story where he could come back, if not already, that is. But Eric, seriously, man, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, man. And at some point, you got to get up here, man. You got to let me know when you're ready to jump on the panel and we can vibe out, man. If you're not busy, let me know, man. Let's do another super chat clip. You guys are kicking so much ass. Let's do another one. And sometimes you just got to be careful because you never know what could happen when you let it go. And it might look like this.
Да нажимай просто!
There, there it is, man. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Thank you so much, Eric. Seriously. Woo. And let's see. Tanza said, do you think Stu fans have got their hopes way too high for 7? I put it this way, because I'm a Stu fan myself, and I'd love to see him come back and just like have some cool ass story. And the other thing too that I'm going to get into, when I say iconic, it's that type of story that just really captures your imagination, right? And that could be for different reasons, but also having a killer return. I mean, that's so awesome. We haven't had that before. And you're talking about probably the killer with the most charisma, I mean, come on. I think that would be so iconic. That would really kind of, in my opinion, bring the franchise just that level up. So where it's not, and again, it's an advantage, a disadvantage. We're so focused on the characters, and that's great. But this would allow Ghostface to really be in the spotlight. And of course, if this is the plan, again, this is what I was always theorizing. If this is the plan, and he is alive at the end and coming into 8, and kicking ass and taking names, first of all, there's a lot of hype that's going to be following, 7 into 8. There's going to be a lot of hype, behind Matthew and for Nev. This also puts the hype on Nev. Can you guys imagine? Tell me what you think. We go through Scream 7 and Stu is just AI. That's all he is AI, right? And the killer, let's just say the killer is whoever, whoever it is, and they're targeting. Obviously, they're targeting Tatum, but there's also that connection to Sydney. Wouldn't it kind of feel a little anticlimactic? Just a little. I mean, obviously, if they craft the story the right way, like the killer is, like a cool character as far as the motivation and the performance and the reveal, like, yeah, we could get behind that for sure. That's a lot of boxes you've got to check. You bring Stu in, you already got a lot of boxes checked. That's how I look at it. It's like it's almost right in front of you, like signed, sealed, and delivered. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at it. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Hey, we got Shanta in the chat. What's up? What's up? Hey, Knight. Hey, everyone. Hope that you had a great holiday. Good to be here. Good to have you here. Marco saying 2 is my favorite. Okay, all right. Paula is here. Okay, let's see what this poll says. We've got 22 votes. 22 votes. Holy crap. Is this for real? The best sequel? We got 39% for Scream 3. Wow. 13% for 5, 17 for 6, 30 for 4. Wow. 3 getting some love. That's great to see. I am surprised. We'll keep that up for another couple of minutes. Crazy stuff. Wow. Gory Tiger's in the house. What's up? Good to see you. Let's see. And I'm trying to catch up. You guys are working hard. Ooh. All right. And we also, and we might have a surprise. Okay. I'll be right there, bud. Hold on tight. Let's see. And hey, we got Jack in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I hope that your Christmas was great too, man. Have we thought about this? What if this is the first film in the franchise to where we don't find out who the killer is? It's an ending like Infinity War. We're forced to wait for 8. Yeah. We've definitely theorized about that, because I do think this is going to lead right into 8. It makes a lot of sense to me. I don't see this jumping forward years or even a couple of years or whatever. I think this is, look, it's all set up for this, for the killer to survive. One of the killers. And again, we're going to have at least 2. I'm thinking it could even be 3. Okay. But someone's going to survive and go into 8. And again, like I said, guys, if it's not Stu Macher, I think they really miss an opportunity. They truly miss an opportunity. It's absolutely banana pancakes. Seriously. All right. Dude saying I picked 3 for 3 main reasons. The Sid scenes on our own are excellent. Feels like a Scream film. And the score is still amazing. It truly is. It is an amazing score. I agree. And Val, thank you so much for welcoming the new members. And also, guys, just to also throw out there, and I don't do this enough, just to mention to everyone, we have the podcast that is all new. We've been, all hands on deck. We've had, obviously, Kill and Coriander, and also we've had Julie and Sarah stepping up, and I've actually got some other episodes that have already gotten the can, and we're releasing them, on a set schedule. But if you have not followed the podcast, please do. We really appreciate the support. We're on Spotify. We're getting a lot of followers, and it's great. We still need, I believe, another 40 followers. We're looking for another 40 followers. We have a goal. And so we're just kind of rocking and rolling with that. So if you listen on Spotify to music or whatever, please follow us on Spotify. Give us a follow, give us a rating. We'd love it. It would help us out so much. We also have, and I'm going to put our QR code in the upper left corner, but you can also just use that QR code. It'll take you to our Spotify podcast. And we're also on Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon, we're all over the place. So we appreciate the support. It really helps us out a lot. And we've been having some fun doing some different things and some exclusive things, which of course for members and also Patreon members, I've been trying to really increase that value for you guys, because we've been fortunate and so blessed to have, again, like we were talking about earlier, the support. And so we've got some really cool things, some exclusive stuff, some guests that are going to be on that haven't been on the channel in a long time, way too long. So definitely, if you can follow us, and it really helps us out a lot. Okay, now let's keep going here. Tanza, Mikey Madison did a great job as Ghostface in 5. Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. Okay, we got another theory, so I'm glad we can talk about theories. But again, and Jack, thank you so much for that super chat. But I agree with you, man. This has got to lead into 8. No doubt about it. No doubt. Theory on Roman coming back. He's also going to be something, not as AI or a flashback or something, but I think they're only bringing him back to discover something new, some new information. I do agree with that. At least that's what would make the most sense. You bring back Roman, that's a tie to the very beginning, right? And why not give us a variation of stuff that we knew? I think that would be so cool, and also would be the best usage of a flashback. And I truly think that's what they're going to do. I hope it is anyways. I really do. Let's see who else. I just got to catch up to you guys. Man, we got everyone in here. This is crazy. And we got Acres. I want it to be AI. I don't want him to be alive. Oh, Night Owl saying, I want Stu just to be AI. Okay. Ooh, okay. All right. And Val, yeah, problem with them bringing Roman back any other way, but in a flashback headshot, not likely he survived that. Very true. Very true. It's got to be a flashback. It's got to be, right? That's the only thing. It's got to be. Dude saying, I agree. Quinn was the best of the Scream 6 ghost faces. Yeah, there's no doubt. For me, anyways, there's no doubt. Hey, we got May in the house. What's up, May? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Very, very cool to have you here. And happy holidays. Hope it's been going well and the move has not been as stressful as moves can be. Scott, have a good night, man. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Very, very cool. And Val, always making sure to keep everyone on track. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out so much, and we really appreciate it. And Melissa saying, do we still have the Ed Harris? Well, actually, we do. Are you saying you want to watch it? You know what? I tell you what. Let's play it for the fun of it. Here we go. You guys have been waiting, so let's go. There it is. You can't beat it. Actually, and we got another one. Let's do our other version of it just for the fun of it. Here we go.
From the pain that she felt when I was born.
There it is. You're never gonna beat Ed Harris. He's just awesome. Thanks for that, Melissa. We really appreciate it. Okay, let's see who else we have in here. We got a lot of people coming in. Arnold, what's up? I just hope the ending to 7 isn't like the ending to 6. Maybe Ghostface is someone new. I'd just like to see something new. Yeah, I mean, look, I do too. But because Sydney is in the movie, I almost feel like it wouldn't hit as well just having, just some random person. I mean, of course, it's a catch-22. It really is. Having someone fresh or kind of the nostalgia bait. And of course, it can be done in the right way. But we'll see. I think that one thing I will say is I think there's going to be a lot of good conversation on both sides of the fence. People that are going to enjoy what they do and have issues, just like with 5 and 6. There's been a lot of conversations, and I think it's been fun. One way or the other, it's going to be a fun conversation. And I'm glad you had a good holiday. Hopefully all of you guys had a great holiday. Seriously. Um, it's that time of the year that, like I said, man, there's some folks, like I said, when I was reading in our community tab thread, some folks didn't have a lot of people around to spend the holidays with. And so, I'm glad that we can kind of get together and hang out and hopefully just bring a little light. Just bring a little light. So, all right. Let me catch up a little bit more. Paula saying seeing Maureen's murder and what led up to it is essential. I really thought to myself that would be a big thing, and it might still be because I think the Roman flashback obviously could have some ties to Maureen. But I'm thinking to myself, maybe it could be something different, right? We'll see, but it's not a bad thing. Paula, I agree with you. It's not a bad thing to kind of go back to Maureen. Okay, right now, I just want to throw this out. Scream 3 was doing well, and then it looked like the poll came to its senses because now with 30 votes, 4 is way ahead in the lead at 47%. Scream 3 holding, a sensible 30%. Guys, let's go for a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna close that poll. Let's see if 3 can catch up. But we've got a lot of votes for 4 right now, so that's yeah. May saying it's been crazy, but we here. Oh, good to have you. It is good to have you. We got Erica in the house too. We got the crew. You guys are all right. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Melissa, is that a clip? Yeah, it's a clip. It's just a clip. Thank you, Erica, for putting the link for the Patreon. We appreciate that. We've been doing some really fun watch parties with our good friend Michael from the Carbonite Jedi and also the Movie Bros. And it's been so much fun, guys. And I started the stream out with this. I will take a quick break from Scream for a second, but I just want to say this. It's been a challenging couple of months. This time of the year is tough for a lot of people. But it definitely was a challenging few months. And doing those watch parties, kind of getting together and having some fun and just having some laughs and those types of things, it's been healing. It really has. And I won't get too deep into that, but I just want to say to everyone, this community's been really cool. Everyone leaning on each other and just kind of trying to hang in there. And, so many people have some tough things that have been going on and so forth. So I really thank all of you guys for being amazing to each other. It's really cool to see. It really is. And it's needed, and for some people, sometimes they may not even realize that they do need it, if that makes any sense. But it's been great to see it, and it's been healing. It really has. So as we get closer and closer to the end of the year, and look into 2026, like I said, there's some cool things that we've got lined up, some changes as well. And that's always kind of a process. There has been things that I've seen across YouTube where, there's been a lot of evolving for content creators. And so, I've always been the type of person to try to do the best that I can do with content and so forth. And, no creator is immune to those types of things. So yeah, there'll be some differences and changes and some fun stuff lined up. But I just wanted to say, we really appreciate the community. All of you guys have been amazing. Our moderators have been amazing. And without that, we wouldn't be able to do what we do the way we do it for as long as we've done it. And so yeah, you guys are awesome. Seriously. Erica stabs for likes. I can't get over that name. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've got 7 super chats. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully that's the plan is if we can get the super chat goal, we're gonna be doing another stream, myself and my brother, and we might have someone else too. We've been talking about this, but it's almost the end of the year, and there's been a lot of great stuff horror wise to talk about, and we hadn't had a chance up until now to do it. So yeah, that's what it's about. But thank you so much, Erica. She voted for 4. Okay. Uh, Sean is saying, I love 4, but 3 is my favorite. Ooh, ooh. Now let me ask this. Is it pronounced Shanta or Shantae? I have a friend, her name is Shantae, and it is spelled just like that. So let me know if you can, please. But 3 is fun. Like I can agree. 3 is so much fun. But 4, well, this is you guys' poll. But I have someone that is going to be coming on who I want to hear their perspective on it too. So we are going to get ready to close this poll down, and yeah, it doesn't look like Scream 3 is going to catch up, man. It really doesn't. So we're going to end this. But 5 was sitting at 9%. We had 32 votes. Thank you for everyone that was voting. But let's bring on someone who really needs no introduction. When we do these types of conversations, it's just so much fun because we get a chance to go down some rabbit holes, and sometimes we get super lost. But that's the fun of this type of stuff. But let's bring him on. You know him, you love him, the one and only, the Bearded Entertainment. What's going on, man?
Man, I always love the Bearded Entertainment.
You gotta use that, bro. You gotta use it.
It's such a little thing that makes such a big difference. And I know we've talked about it before. You know where it came from, right? Like why it's the Bearded Entertainment?
Because you needed to separate you from another person.
Exactly. Someone else had taken Bearded Entertainment, and the time it took me to get from like however many subscribers you need to actually lock it in, someone had already taken it. So I had to put the in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the biggest. I think they might even not be on YouTube anymore. I don't know, but
maybe not. It's funny too because I think they even if they're not on YouTube anymore, their name could still pop up. But I've seen that other channel, and I think there's other channels too that are obviously kind of adjacent. Like there's this one creator, I think it's Bearded Horror Entertainment or something like that. It's wacky, but it's like, I'm just looking for Eric, man. Come on, let's make this easy, But
there was another one because I used to have to tell people like, oh yeah, if you're looking for me, like the first one that comes up, that's not me. If it's like red and black or something, it's not me. It's the next one. I think eventually I passed them in the algorithm. So like when you searched it, I was the first one that came up, but I haven't done that search in a minute, so I don't even know where I fall in there. But anyways, that's where the came from.
It's crazy, man. But they don't tell us those types of things before we start our channel. We just jump in and we're like trying to think of a cool name, and boom, and then you're like, oh crap, I gotta change.
It's like I've locked into this.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and then they change things so often too.
They do, bro.
Like how in the chat now, like how everyone's name is the actual like URL name.
Yeah.
And that change, I just looked into that. Apparently they did it to prevent scams. So like,
oh, okay.
By showing the actual URL name, two people can have the same URL name, but 2 people can have the same display name. So you can't like pretend to be somebody else and throw out like a scam. So that's why they did that apparently.
Yeah, well, they do change quite a bit, and it's crazy. It's really crazy. And for all of us that do content, we're just it's almost like we're in this huge body of water and we're just trying to stay afloat. You know, we got waves pushing us one way, pushing us another way. We're just trying to stay afloat and communicate our thoughts to an audience.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to do. And YouTube, and like I said, it's a great platform. And like I was saying before you came on, it provides so much opportunity to share your passion, make friends, and make connections and so forth. So it's fantastic. But the flip side of it is it's such a hard platform to flourish in, you know what I'm saying, and to, keep all of your sanity intact and stuff like that.
It
Um,
really is, man. Like,
yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest, for the first like part of my YouTube career, if you even want to call it that, like I never cared about that. It's like I just wanted to talk
Mm,
about stuff. And then it
right.
gets to a point where you're like, okay, this could be something. So you start focusing on that. And for
Hmm.
some reason, then it gets harder. Like if you're not
Yes.
focusing on it and you're just like, hey, let's just log on and talk about this. Let's just do a live stream and talk about this. It's so much fun. But then
Yeah.
it gets to a point where it's like, well, hey, I haven't done a live stream in a minute. And then if I
Yep.
don't, YouTube's going to stop promoting my stuff.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
it,
It's tough.
the business side of it is so much crazier than people understand. It's
Yep.
awful, honestly.
It is. And there's so many people. And first of all, just to say to the chat, this is just a side conversation. Eric and I do this all the time. But
Sorry.
it's no, it's relevant because like I said, 2026 is coming, and I'm excited about it. Not only for this channel, but for all of us in this community, and obviously things like Scream 7 coming out and other great stuff, and more fun memories to have. And it's been a tough end of this year for sure. But that being said, YouTube, it's just a tough environment for a content creator. And I've seen so many um, that go through this roller coaster. And some of them are able to come out the other side intact. Some are not. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. And it's not a question about whether you're a true fan of your niche, or it's not a question of being able to communicate it. It's not a question of hard work. It's not even a question of a lot of things. Sometimes it is what it is, you know? And that's what's so crazy to me. Because I know when I first started doing it, which seems like 8 lifetimes ago, my thing was I love talking about this stuff so much that I'm just going to do it as much as my schedule would allow. And I would have thought that was, and not so much that was enough, but you just don't understand it the way you think, because there's so many different angles, to doing YouTube, a lot. And once you start to gain experience and you learn things and it's a lot of trial and error, then you're like, oh, okay, I was so stupid back then. Why did I do this? Or why did I do that? So it's a really interesting endeavor for sure. For any of us that have done this for any amount of time, you have my full respect, full.
And I do have to say though, I don't think there's a better niche of YouTube to be in the horror community.
I agree with that.
It's so awesome.
It is.
It's wonderful. Like getting to talk about, and obviously a little bit of complaining there from my side, but getting to talk about the things you love, like Scream and Friday the 13th and Halloween and Nightmare, and all these wonderful horror franchises, and the potential to get paid for that is awesome.
Yeah.
And finding people like I never would have met you outside of YouTube, man. Like the likelihood of that happening was almost non-existent. So
right. Yeah.
It's wonderful, man. And we get to come on and talk about Stu Macher and Scream 7 and how I swear I think they're gonna kill him, man.
All right. So let's start right there. So when we talk about 7, because everyone's been talking about it tonight, you've seen it, I think the lines are getting deeper, as far as some people are like, he's coming back, and some people are like, bro, there is like a negative 100% chance he's coming back in the flesh alive. So where are you at now? We talked a lot about this when the trailer first came out, which was a fantastic discussion, by the way. And by the way, if you guys haven't checked that out, check that out. It was so much fun. Where are you at now with it as far as Stu, and why?
I want Stu to be back. I'm going to make that very clear before I go into what I believe. I want him to be back. I think it would be perfect if I don't think there's any way Roman is back alive.
Right.
Billy obviously is, if he's in it, if Skeet is announced, he's obviously not back alive.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, and David as well. Dewey's back. So, and we already heard them in the trailer giving lines as Dewey. Now we don't know if that's actually going to make the cut. I think it would be perfect if they use those as like a cover, because then if you hear Matthew, you're automatically going to say, oh, well, it's just an AI like the rest, or it's just a deep fake like the rest. But then him be alive. That's what I would love to happen. Like, that's the fake out.
Right. Yeah. So we're on the same page with that.
I think they're going to, I'm slowly getting more and more to where I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to, we're going to hear his voice, and I think we are going to see him on screen, because Kevin posted on his Instagram story last week, I think, or maybe the week before, a photo of Matthew doing ADR. Now, for people who don't know what ADR is once a movie is completely filmed, if there's some lines that aren't, like, you can't hear them that well, you go into a studio, you have the movie playing in front of you, and you deliver a line to match it with the performance on screen. That's the most standard way. If it's not that, if it's just recording a voice, it's just a voiceover session.
Yep.
So the fact that they called it ADR tells me that we are seeing Matthew Lillard speaking on screen. I think it's going to be in the past.
Flashback.
I think we might see some sort of interaction between Billy, Stu, and Roman. But I think they're going to confirm Stu's dead. I don't want that to happen, but I think they might.
Oof.
I think it'll ruin it, but
ruin the movie, you mean?
I think it'll ruin the character of Stu for me, honestly, or at least because there's always been a hope,
Yeah.
Like, even if there's no sign he's coming back, there's always been a hope for people who believe he's alive.
Right.
And
exactly.
if they do that, if they confirm, even if they don't bring him back, they shouldn't confirm he's dead.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think they will. I think they will, just to give like a little like closure, because that's the thing. We don't have closure on Stu. Some people think they do, but the fact that there can still be a debate is proof that there wasn't full closure on it. I think Roman helped Stu live. I think Roman was there when it all went down. Like, while we're waiting on night, my whole big spiel, my whole lore is the 2 times you see Ghostface in part 1 that do not make sense. There are 2 of them. One is while they're in the convenience store. Sydney and Tatum are in the convenience store buying stuff for Stu's party. And there's like, when he closes the door, they close the door, there's a ghost face in the reflection, just like chilling. Who is that? Who is that supposed to be? It's not going to be Billy or Stu out in the middle of the day when there's this whole thing going on. Doesn't make any sense to be them. And then when they're Tatum and Sydney are talking on, I think, Tatum's porch, there's another one just like chilling in the bushes. I think that is Roman. I think Roman showed up when he figured out what was going on and just wanted to observe. And he doesn't care if he gets caught, because if he gets caught, he's just some person from Hollywood who showed up to prank somebody. That's all he's got to say. So I think he was there. And if he was there, he could have helped Stu live and escape. Roman's your favorite Ghostface, but he's not alive. No, unfortunately, he's not alive. He is 100% unalived. I think Stu, for me, Stu is the only one with an ambiguous death. And say that because obviously we know Matthew Lillard was supposed to come back for part 3. We all know that. He was under contract to come back and couldn't be fulfilled for a terrible reason. What's up?
Hey, I had to reboot my whole laptop, man. It was
Dude,
crazy.
That happened to me the other day. I was on a stream with you mentioned him earlier, our good friend over Carbonite Jedi.
Mhm.
And we did something. They did something, and as a joke, I left the stream with the intention
Yeah.
of just jumping right back in. As soon as I tried to jump back in, it wouldn't recognize my webcam, wouldn't recognize my
Oh
headphones.
my god.
I had to completely reboot everything.
Jeez.
But
I know, it's crazy.
I
But
was
no, I heard you. Go ahead.
I was going through how I think Roman was there the whole time and he helped Stu escape and live.
That would make so much sense, man. And like, one thing I've said is that having Scott in this film could really tie a nice bow between all of these films, showing those moments where he was right there helping along. Obviously, as a tie to the past as well, and a tie to Sydney, which makes sense because this is a Sydney centric story. Like, I just hope this is what I hope. And you tell me what you think. I just hope it's not one of those scenarios where it's like this little flashback that has no real meaning. It's almost like they just, hey, there's Roman again. Wow, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope it's like something that really makes our jaw drop. That would be like the best reason to have him back in it.
It's got to progress the story in some way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you think about trilogies,
Mm-hmm.
4 being excluded because the trilogy it was trying to set up obviously got stopped in its track.
Right.
1 through 3, in my opinion, one of the most perfect trilogies ever. Like the way it ends, everything beautiful. Exclude 4, 5, 6, and 7 have all dealt with like family in some way.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
Because obviously you got Sam dealing with who her father is, and then you got in part 6 you got Tara dealing with Sam being overbearing and all this, and just that whole family dynamic, even if it's not blood family but family in general. And then it looks like 7 is really going to lean into that again, and I still think Sydney's the target in 7. I know it's laying out like it says like Sydney's daughter is the target of New. I don't think that's the case. I think Sydney's the target. I think they know they can't get to Sydney, but you know who they can get to? Sydney's daughter. And I think, and like if the phone call we got or the phone call in the trailer actually is in the movie, to me that just proves it, because she says something like, "Don't hurt my daughter." And Ghostface says something like, "I'm not going to hurt her till you're here to watch it."
Yeah.
If the target was the daughter, he would just end her. There's no reason. The target is Sydney. Like, that's why she has to be there, so she has to suffer.
I agree.
And so the family element is there, and the fact that we're bringing Sydney's brother back in this movie in some way, be it voice or... But here's the thing, too. I'm pretty sure there was an interview where Scott Foley was talking about being in Atlanta. If you're only going to be a voice, they're not flying you down there.
That's true.
They're going to take you to the nearest audio recording booth, and you're going to do your lines there.
That's right.
They're not bringing you to Atlanta, like on location, to do voiceover, unless you're Roger L. Jackson. Roger L. Jackson is only the voice. He is on set every single time.
That's true.
And I'm so glad he is.
He's awesome, man. He's absolutely amazing.
I finally got to meet him. He was so cool, dude.
Was he? I've always heard good things about him. That's so cool that
he
you got
was
that man.
the nicest guy. There's like two people, like two principal people from Scream 1 that I haven't met yet, and they're like the two that you'll almost never meet. Courtney Cox and Drew Barrymore. Almost like all the other major ones, even Henry Winkler. I met Henry Winkler.
Nice.
And I got a photo of him. Like I got him to sign a photo. Like the only Scream photo he had available was his dead body laying on the ground.
That's awesome.
And I'm like,
Oh
I hate
my
to get
God.
you to sign. He was the coolest guy. So nice,
Yeah.
so sweet, very
Yeah.
small, so spread. Anyways, I think we're gonna see him on screen, but
We
I think
have
it's gonna be
to.
flashbacks.
Yeah. I definitely think it's going to be a flashback. And I think that like I said, maybe all of this is just apple pie and ice cream. Like, okay, Roman comes back. He does a flashback. He's with Billy and Stu. So you get to see Skeet as well. It's something that is tied to the past. It changes what we always thought. So that's cool. The story is centered on Nev. And then at the end, Stu is back in the flesh. It almost sounds like it's too good to be true, right? For a lot of us that are thinking this particular way, like you and I. But at the same time, it's like it makes so much sense. And story-wise, it really gives it a lot of depth. This is something that is big time. This is the type of Scream film that we need for a part 7. This is the type of Scream film that we need for those of us who have followed it since 96, in my opinion. Now, again, I have no problem once I get into that theater and be 100% incorrect, but yet still like, you know what I mean? Like if they can do something that I'm not thinking of or that I haven't really heard of and it's great, then that's great. It's great to be surprised, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think, we've been trained too well to be able to figure out at least a couple of things, just like we have for 6, just like we have for 5, and so forth and so forth. So I just think that it makes sense to bring Roman back, to give us that connection to the past, make something, something that's big that we're like, what, really? Oh my gosh, and it ties to this story. And Sydney, although she's not gonna die, we've got the daughter in play, and we've got stakes, and we're scared, and we're concerned. And then at the end, it's a blockbuster finale, a great reveal, and we've got Stu back leading into 8 with all of that anticipation and hype. Like, I mean, there it is to me.
I'm just saying, if I swear to all that is holy, if I see Ghostface take off a mask and it's Leslie Mocker, I'm walking out. I'm walking out of the theater.
Okay. All right. So look, we got to talk about this because, okay, first of all, do you think it could be Leslie Mocker? What's your percentage on that? And why don't you want to see her?
Okay, so I'm never going to say that it couldn't be.
Yep.
I don't think it will be. I think Leslie Mocker, just like oh gosh, what's Sam and Tara's mom's name?
Oh my gosh.
I always say Sabrina Carpenter, but I know that's not right. I'm just like, yeah, I know. Like I said it on another stream like 3 times. So I was like, oh, wait a second.
Gosh, it's leaving me, but
it's not. Yeah, Christina.
Is it Christina Carpenter? Yeah, I think so.
Because so
yes.
Anyway, I think Leslie Mocker exists the exact same way that Christina Carpenter does. It's a name that Radio Silence could throw out that we've never met. They can write into the story to make connections, but it doesn't mess up any previous timelines. Like you remember when we heard about Christina Carpenter in part 5? I don't think you could get through a theory video between 5 and 6 that didn't hint at Christina Carpenter playing a part. Ghost. We've never seen her. I don't think she exists outside. I mean, obviously she exists, but like her whole purpose, in my opinion, was to say, hey, here's a character that could have existed throughout the events of 1 and 2 that we can use and not mess with anything.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Leslie Mocker is the same way. We never saw Leslie Mocker in 1. We never heard of Leslie Mocker in 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And we only heard Leslie in part 5. And the only time it was ever mentioned was that, oh, yeah, sister to Stu Mocker.
Yep.
I think it was just a way to add a significant character, or a character that sounds significant that doesn't matter in the general. It doesn't affect anything in the past. However, there's been I don't know, I think there's been more happen to Sam and Tara that would cause Christina to be a significant character than Leslie. But people seem to have jumped on the Leslie train, and I think it has something to do now with the line in the trailer that Ghostface delivers.
Yeah.
Reminds me of where we grew up.
Yep.
Which obviously all of us Stu fans at first were like, well, it's got to be Stu. Yep. I pointed out to a lot of people, well, it doesn't say we grew up there at the same time.
That is true. It could be at different times.
Jill grew up there. Charlie grew up there. Kirby grew up there. So I think that was a big thing, but I think that's got a lot of people on there. I don't want it to be Leslie. The only way I will accept Leslie as a Ghostface is if her partner is Stu.
Right.
If it's a sole Leslie Mocker getting revenge because her son or her brother was killed,
here's that's true. And here's my thing. I think, and again, and I was saying this earlier, that my percentage believing that Stu is alive in flesh and blood in this film has gone down a little bit. But I still think it's a strong possibility. Now, whether or not it is, that's a whole nother story. But I think what could be really cool, and again, all of this is just theorizing, crazy theories, fan theories. Some of it makes sense. A lot of it probably doesn't. But if Stu was back, then it would make sense for Leslie to be there. And it also would make sense, as far as the revenge thing with Vince. And that also ties in, although we've got the Meeks twins, that's true, but it also ties in 5 and 6 to 7, in another way, as far as to say, yeah, this all started with you, Sydney. You tried to kill my brother, you killed my son. Now I'm coming after your daughter to get to you, however that is executed. But she's being manipulated by Stu. That's how I could see it working. Whether it goes to that extent, I don't know. But I do think, and again, it's all just theorizing, but I do think that it's a way to tie in 5 and 6, because
I don't
Vince
know
was
if they
killed.
really want to do that, though.
Well, they've got the Meeks twins coming back. Because they could have said, you guys don't, because they don't need them to be back in the film. Of course, I don't know. We don't know to what extent, they'll be dominant in the film or whatever.
I think one of them will die finally.
I do too. Who's going to die?
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be Chad.
You do think it's going to be Chad?
I don't want it to be Chad. I don't. I think it will be. I think it will be. I think Chad will die sacrificing himself to save someone else. Chad is our new Dewey. Anybody can say whatever they want. Chad is the new Dewey. He's not quite to that level yet. Dewey was like a beacon of light. I don't care what anyone says.
That's true.
Dewey, if you look at every character from like 1 to 5, Dewey was there because he wanted to help people.
Right.
He could outside of part 1, Dewey could have turned tail and ran. Like part 1, he was, or I guess 4 he couldn't because he was the sheriff. But 2, 3, and 5, he's only there to help people. He took vacation days from the police office in part 2 to go make
Right.
sure Sydney was okay, and ended up getting a
Yeah.
freaking severed nerve in his spine or something. Anyways, and Chad is kind of like that now. He's not quite there, like I say, helping people, but
Mhm.
he's taking the brunt of it in part 6, especially. He took the brunt of it to like while everyone else was able to get away.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No, I agree.
but I think he might die saving Mindy.
Okay, here's my thing. I'm the reverse. I think it's gonna be Mindy.
I hope it is.
And let me also say this too. First of all, I love Jasmine, and I think that there's been moments, that I've seen what they've been trying to do with this character, but I just feel like they never really could stick the landing. I think she had some great moments in 5, but I think she faltered in 6 as a character, just how it all kind of played out. But I almost feel like with Chad, it's almost like the ship has sailed to kill him. Like if they had killed him and I don't want him to die, by the way. I want to say that. I don't want Chad to die, and I do agree he is the new Dewey, not at that same level, but he represents the same type of thing, the heart. And I thought he had great moments in 6, the whole core 4 scene. It was cool, man. It almost had that old vibe of the OG3. And I was like, all right, guys, this is what we want. We want to be invested in these characters as a group as well as individuals. But that attack, now it's an attack scene in 6, that would have been like an amazing way for a character to go out, getting killed by 2 Ghostface killers, trying to save, someone that you care so deeply about romantically, as far as Tara. I just feel like if they kill him in 7, it's almost like, okay, now he's gonna die. I mean, granted, someone could say the same thing about Dewey, because they eventually got him. Um, but I just feel like it's not gonna be him, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Like that scene in the trailer where I'm saying not Mandy, Mindy, is just looking badass and like kind of like going toe to toe with Ghostface or whatever. Like that is a scene like it's cool to see her actually kind of in some action,
Are you referring
whereas
to the new trailer?
yeah, the trailer
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
in that kitchen area.
Okay, so when you said trailer, I thought you were referring to like the physical item, like a trailer,
No, 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 no,
like a
no, no,
home.
no,
I was
no,
like, when did
no.
we see her in a trailer? Then I realized, okay, so
The movie trailer.
yeah, the
Yeah.
movie trailer in the kitchen. I've been to that
Yeah.
place too. I know where that's at.
Yeah, you were telling me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, here's the thing. I think one of them's dying there. I think.
That's what I think too. And I have this feeling it's gonna be Mindy. And you know why? Well, other than the whole Chad aspect of it, but like in 5 and in 6, she's always getting freaking stabbed and like missing the finale. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of is so irritating. And it's like I feel like they're gonna flip it, and in 7, she's gonna be active as we see in that. And it's a quick little scene, but whatever, she seems like she's active. I think she's gonna save Chad. Because like Chad's always saving everyone else. He's always just ready to physically jump in and do whatever he's got to do. I have a feeling they're gonna flip it. Mindy's gonna save Chad, but in the end, she's gonna be killed. And I could be wrong. Who knows?
You know what I want to happen? I
What?
want them to both be on the brink of death, and I want little Martha Meeks Martin to show up and just go Mama Bear and just destroy a ghost face. I wanted it for so long. Can you imagine seeing
Right.
that? Like, Mama's strength is no joke. Like, seeing her
Hey,
show up to protect her children.
hey,
Oh my God.
look at Mama Wheeler from Stranger Things, bro. Like,
Wait,
I don't.
hold on. I haven't seen any of season 5 yet.
Okay,
So
okay. Well, it's no spoilers. It's
okay, I
no
was about to
spoilers.
say.
It's no spoil. But I'm just saying, moms, they definitely want to protect their kids. You know what I mean? So, but
So like I think it would be hilarious. Like it'd be badass, but also kind of hilarious because she's a
it
tiny
would.
little thing. But
She is.
it also for me it is so it's so kind of annoying. Like it goes it like ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's funny that the fact that there's no parents ever in a
I
Scream movie.
know.
Ever.
I know.
And sometimes it's funny. I think it would be awesome when there's like, here's the thing, like if I'm a parent and I hear, oh, my child's friend group is actively under attack from a serial killer.
Yeah.
No, their ass is getting back home with me, or I'm going to be there with them
Right.
till this
Exactly.
whole thing blows over.
Yep.
And I think it would be great if she showed up and just like baseball bat, just I don't know, whatever it is, just like
Yeah.
at this point, Chad's been stabbed like 30 times.
Yep.
How does she ever let him leave the house without like
Right?
a bullet?
I know.
Bullet like protective vests. Just want to throw this out there to people. You can get them at military surplus. You don't have to have like a certification. You can just get those.
Yep.
If I'm ever a part of a group that's being attacked by Ghostface, my first stop is going to be I'm wearing it at all times.
Right? Yep.
It may not save me completely, but it's going to give me a few extra minutes to throw hands.
It is so true.
Anyway,
Gotta-
sorry.
Gotta use what's out there and protect yourself. There's no doubt whatsoever. Real quick too, let me jump to the chat. I know I'm way behind on the chat, and we got super chats coming in, and and Eric, you're one of them. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We gotta hit the goal.
Let's hit the goal, guys. We got a couple more minutes left, I think. We got Jack coming in, hopping on tomorrow night for the year's end. If you reach the goal. Yeah, we didn't, and we didn't do that last year. We did it the year before, though. That was fun. Man, thanks so much, seriously, for the super chat. We appreciate you, bro. Seriously. Yeah, we got to do that. And Shantae saying, I spent my Christmas with 4 of 6 of my children and my mom, and I cooked. I was happy. Didn't need a whole lot. And I made it to my room by 8 to watch Stranger Things. All right. Very, very cool. And Jack's coming in with a couple. Come on, people. Thank you so much. Saying, when do you think we'll get a trailer? Let me ask you this too, Eric. I think it definitely is going to be before the middle of January. I think it could be the second week of January, which is the first full week of January. That's when it seems to make sense to me, because I mean February is literally right around the corner. Seriously. So I think it's going to be, they got to do something soon, man. Seriously.
What if they show, because you know how the finale of Stranger Things is in theaters?
Yep.
What if there's the second Scream 7 trailer before the finale of Stranger Things?
Dude, that would be so smart, because there is so many people that are going to go to the theater to see that finale.
I am.
For real. Yeah. For real.
So that would be, you have a target audience there. Like you mentioned Silent Night, Deadly Night, which sore subject for me. There's nowhere within 100 miles from me that's playing that movie.
Oh, dude.
I haven't got to see it. But like, that's the perfect movie to show a Scream 7 trailer in front of. I've seen the Scream 7 trailer in theaters one time, like the week it came out. I haven't seen it in theaters since.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And it's reminding me, and it makes me sad to say, it's reminding me of the marketing for Scream 4. Like,
yeah,
it was almost non-existent. And it might be something where they're trying to save money on marketing, but I don't. This is like as far as I'm aware, the only one of the major horror franchises that are actively being made right now.
Yeah.
Friday's kind of in the works. It's iffy. Halloween is on a hiatus. Nightmare, obviously, hiatus. Chucky ended the TV run. Texas Chainsaw, hiatus, kind of Netflix.
Kinda.
Like, the only thing we have going right now is Scream. Don't skip on this. You have an entire horror like collective
Mm-hmm.
that needs, big screen horror like major franchises. And 5
Yeah,
and 6 made good money. Let's not
it
forget,
did.
5 and 6 were lucrative.
Yep. Yep. It's so
Like,
true, man.
and you have Matthew Lillard. You can bank on Matthew Lillard right now. Like
Yep.
with
You
with
can.
Five Nights at Freddy's and everything, like he is a major star right now.
Yep.
Screw
I
Quentin
agree.
Tarantino.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, come on, Quentin.
Dude,
That's
and
such a bad take.
I hate. So here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. Quentin Tarantino is my favorite director. Like,
Yeah, he's awesome.
but I think initially I was like, okay, we're just misunderstanding the comments about Paul Dano, because I was like, I
Yeah.
think he's saying Paul Dano wasn't good in that movie, and by
Mhm.
comparison, it's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Of
Like,
course.
by
Yeah,
comparison, very few people are going to seem good next to Daniel Day-Lewis. Paul
that's true.
Dano's. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt there, but then as soon as he brought like Matthew Lillard into it, I'm like, oh no, buddy, nuh-uh. We're not accepting it. And immediately I got defensive because,
Yeah,
especially when he said like Paul Dano's just about the weakest actor in SAG, and I'm like, bitch,
I
you're in SAG
know.
and you can't act your way out
Right?
of a paper bag.
I
Like,
know. Yep.
anyways, but yeah, Matthew Lillard is hot stuff right now. Like
He is.
it's criminal if they
Mhm.
under like market this, and it as of right now, it feels like they are compared to like 6. Like
I
6, I felt
know.
like we got like a trailer every other week and then a little TV spot.
Yeah, we had a bunch of TV spots. I
We
remember
got
that.
like serious character posters, like individual high resolution ones, like so many
Yep.
drops. We're less than 2 months from the movie now, 2 months
I
exactly
know.
from the movie, and we've
Yep.
got one trailer.
I know. Yeah, I
I
think the timing for the trailers was I don't know. I think it was just off. Obviously we just got into this, into the holiday season, but it just feels like either they should have pushed it, you know, um, maybe pushed it to January, maybe late January, to release it, and then you could have done a trailer in, late September, and then maybe I don't know, November, and then late January, or I mean, late December or something. I don't know. It just seems like the pacing was off a little bit, but they must have a game plan. They
I
must have a
hope
game
so.
plan.
I really hope so. I
They
think they
spent too
should
much
have.
money not to have a game plan for this
The
franchise.
the fact that, and you brought it up earlier, and it's a great point. The fact that they've already greenlit 8
Right.
tells me there is some sort of game plan.
Yeah.
Whether or not
Yeah.
it's a winning plan or a good plan remains to be
Yeah.
seen. But the
True.
fact that they already have that, I wish they could have pushed it up like 3 months.
Yep.
So more people could have seen it, obviously.
Mhm. Mhm.
But um, even without that, it was like December is when the original came out.
Yeah.
Release 7 in December. Like,
Yep.
have it go back. If we're going back to basics, if we're going back to the Mocker House, like let's bring in some some real nostalgia, bring it back out in December, like
Yep.
the original was. And I don't know, I feel like that would have been a good plan.
I think so
Especially,
too.
and it's what's it competing with right now? Not much.
Exactly.
Well,
Yep.
not much in the way of horror. Obviously, we got Avatar, which is going to make all the money. But
All the money.
yeah, I didn't even see Way of Water, so I'm not seeing that one. But yeah, there, in terms of horror, like Silent Night, Deadly Night was out for like 2 days. And then
That's true.
like these releases are just getting shorter and shorter. And
Well, and the thing of it is that with the streaming side of things are coming onto digital like after 4 weeks. A movie comes out in the theater, and like 4 weeks later, it's like, oh, I can buy it on digital or whatever. This is
it's
crazy.
still in theaters too.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
fact that they're releasing stuff on digital and then still leaving it in the theater is so baffling to me.
it is.
Um, I honestly, I think that is a better way than just completely removing it from theaters altogether.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like Black Phone 2, great example. Black Phone 2 I was up for digital while it was still in theaters. I saw
Yep.
it in theaters a fourth time after it was already released in digital. Dude, I love Black Phone 2.
Bro.
I
And I
saw
was
it 4 times
dude,
in theaters.
yeah, we saw it twice. Bro, like, and I was saying it before it came out, like, if this movie can do what it needs to do, we literally could be looking at a new icon, in the true making. Like the first film, I love the first film. I think it was amazing. But just like Scream, it really was more about the characters, the brother and sister combination. And Finney was just so great as a lead character. But the second film, like Ethan Hawke, man, the stuff that they did in that movie, I'm like, bro, now you can do anything. Now you can do anything. Get creative. Let Ethan Hawke cook, and the sky's the limit. It really
Dude,
is.
when he wrapped that cord around her and jerked it like he was starting a lawnmower,
Yes, yes,
and like I got every time, even the fourth time I saw it in theaters, I got goosebumps when Finney is at the very end with his face just, dude, I got goosebumps. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
dude, like I felt
yep,
like I could run through a wall. I was so pumped up with that.
right, yep, so
Like
true, man.
it was in the first one, the grabber was like he was scary because he was mysterious. You
Right,
didn't know what he was going to do.
yeah,
In the second one, he was scary because he was unhinged. Like
yeah,
when he's like he on the first like phone call with Finney, he was like, "I'm going to hurt you."
yeah, yeah. He was
And
vicious.
oh my god, it was, and I loved it. Like I was
Yeah,
legitimately terrified of this guy. Like in the first one, I was like, I let's stand up, go toe to toe. I might lose, but I got a shot. In the second one, I'm like, there's
yeah.
no way I'm surviving this. I'm done.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's yeah, no doubt about it. I thought the second film was fantastic, man. It really, really was.
I hope they give Seven a nice long theater run though.
I hope so too,
Like, give it
man.
a chance to make money. Like, just
Yeah,
give it a chance. I don't want them to do that and then be like, "Oh, well, it didn't make any money." And it's like, "Well, you left it in theaters for like 3 hours.
right, right.
Let
Yep.
it breathe. Like, let word of mouth actually happen."
Hmm.
And I'm really hoping it makes a ton of money.
I hope so too, man. I mean, it's got the possibility, especially if it is really good and it has good word of mouth. I mean, you do have this new um, group of fans that have come in, with 5 and 6. And granted, this is taking a left turn of sorts, obviously, because we know why. But I do think it still has that recognizable name. It's Scream. We're talking 30 years, so it has the opportunity to make a lot of money. I just hope, and like we've been talking about just now, I just hope that they don't piss off a lot of fans, with if they have a choice where they make a choice where Stu Macher is just AI and you have a lot of people ticked off about it. Because like I said before, if he's just AI, don't bring him back, or don't even announce Matthew's coming back. Sure, it may leak or whatever, but why make the announcement? Just let it happen. Let us be, you know, happy for that quick moment in the film or whatever, you
So
know?
my original thought with the announcement was they announced it so that if someone did by chance snag a photo of Matthew like on set or
Yeah.
like getting to set or something, they could be like, "Yeah, we told you he was going to be in it." That was my
Mhm.
original thought. But then I mean, I was down there.
Mhm.
No one caught a sight of Matthew. No one caught a whiff of Matthew in that area, but we know
Mhm.
he was there. So my thought was like them announcing it it's like part of the trick. It's
Mm.
one of those, it's like, yeah, we're announcing it just like we're announcing David, just like we're announcing Roman.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
swear I want it so bad to be the like we see AI Matthew. Like we see AI Matthew, we see AI Roman, we hear AI, see AI Dewey. Maybe I don't know. Do you think we'll see Dewey on screen?
I mean, it's possible. I wasn't thinking that we would, though. I wasn't thinking we would. I mean, because I don't know. Now you got me really thinking more about it. Maybe. I mean, if that is a huge part of this, which is obviously what we've all come to learn about, but I don't know. But we gotta see Roman and we gotta see Stu, even if it is a fake. There's just no, to me, there's no other reason. Or if it's a flashback, it could be just a flashback.
So here's a question, and sorry, I know we got to get to the chat, but we always talk about the like deep fakes or AI. How would that come into play? Because like essentially what we're gonna like the voice makes sense because
Yeah.
you can do that over a phone call real time. But
Mhm.
video AI and video deepfake has to be like processed. So if it was like videos of like a killing or something or like an actual like murder spree,
Mhm.
they like that would have to be taken. The footage after the fact would have to be taken by the killers to process it and then deliver it somewhere. So I don't know
Yeah.
how that would work because
Yeah. I
what I
mean,
think would happen is the cops would take the security footage or whatever that's gotten and it wouldn't have a chance to be processed.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've thought about that a lot too, of like how that would work. And I've run into walls. I've run into walls. But then I keep thinking to myself, if there's a way that they can make that make sense, it could be cool. I mean, at least from the fan perspective of seeing those characters again. But like real world, like in the story, you're right. Like how could that be done? You know?
I had a thought, and it's a terrible, terrible thought.
Oh no. What?
So it's not terrible like it's going to be bad storytelling. Terrible like it would be malicious.
Oh, okay.
Remember, Randy recorded a video and had
That's
it
true.
delivered. What if the killers are recording videos of themselves doing things? Not necessarily the murders, but
Mhm.
like recording videos of themselves and then deep faking them and delivering them to the people. Either like you want to go old school nostalgia, have them actually deliver like VHS tapes.
Oh.
But what if someone records one as Dewey calling Gail out for not writing her book, calling Gail out
Yeah.
for moving on so quickly, but we
Yeah.
see and hear Dewey.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, listen, I mean, obviously, if it's not just a voice and you actually see, David Dewey, that's gotta be what he does to Gail. It's gotta be the guilt trip. It's gotta be the whole, why did you do this to me? You dishonored me, you betrayed me, blah, blah, blah. That's gotta be it. I mean, there's no other reason, as far as for Gail, for Sydney, maybe it could be the type of thing, pulling at her heartstrings or whatever, because Dewey obviously was special to her. Although in five, I didn't see enough of that when he got killed, but that's neither here nor there. Um, but yeah, that's definitely what they would have to do with Dewey confronting, quote unquote, confronting Gale. You know what I mean? Like that actually would be a cool scene to see. It's devious for sure,
Do you
but
know what would be cool too?
what's
Thinking back
that?
to it now, it's a little recycled. It is, I will say that, but I think it would be cool is if we see like remember in part two how Mickey was recording like everything secretly, and then
Hmm.
at the end of it, what if we see some of that, but it's someone at Dewey's funeral?
Oh man.
We see it looking at Gail and Sydney at Dewey's funeral, but
Oh
and
wow.
then they're trying to figure out who it was. Wouldn't that be
Oh,
dark?
that would be dark,
But then it
man.
also
Oof.
signals like whoever this is, they've been working on this since part 5.
Yeah. Yep. In the shadows. I like that idea. See, that's the type of stuff that could really make this film stand out from the last couple, kind of going down that more devious route. like playing the long con. You know what I mean? And it's like whoever the Ghostface killer is, whether it is Stu or
So
not or
obviously
whoever,
McKenna Grace, we've seen the skirt, the blue
the
plaid.
skirt, you gotta love it. That freaking skirt. Whoever it is, man, I just hope that they're smart, and I hope that the planning it makes sense, that the reveal is epic. It's gotta be now, man. It's Sidney Prescott, bro. You gotta be. It can't be. We can't have a Bailey type reveal. Of course, it was me. Come on. We we can't have that. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
That was that wasn't good, man. That
It
wasn't good.
wasn't. It wasn't.
And
I mean,
it was a recycled motive and a
yeah.
recycled like person. So like
Yep.
because that's basically it was part 2 just done over.
Yep.
Like you
It's
could
true.
have inserted Mickey screaming Richie's father, Richie's brother, Richie's sister,
That's right.
Richie's cousin twice removed.
Yeah.
Damn, and that's why I don't want it to be Leslie Mocker. I don't want it to be just another scorned relative. It's
Yeah.
been done.
I know.
You know
I
something
know.
unique? A previously thought dead killer not being
Exactly.
dead and coming back.
That's exactly what I said pretty much in the beginning of the stream. It's like you not only would have a really good reveal, something that hasn't been done before, a returning killer, but it also, to me anyways, makes it iconic. Like this is the Super Bowl now. You know what I mean? It's not just the playoffs with even if they execute whoever, a Ghostface killer coming out of the woodwork that is after Sydney and gets to her, trying to get to her through Tatum, and they can execute it well, and that's great. It could be fun, it could be nice, whatever. But it's like if Stu comes back, to me, that's like big time. That makes it iconic because he's iconic. He's tied to 96. He has that personal vendetta against the great final girl. And to me, I think that that's all of these things is what really could make Seven stand apart and really, again, I had fun with 5 and 6. I think both films have some great stuff. I do also think both of those films have some missteps, and some of them are big missteps. That's neither here nor there. But I think with 7, they could really like elevate the vibe and the feeling of the franchise and of all of us fans. As a matter of fact, in the chat too, I had put up that poll. Is it still iconic? 80% saying the franchise is still iconic, 14% saying kind of. So, obviously we're all still big fans, and we're talking about it now and we'll keep talking about it. But I just feel like 7 does have that pressure to like come out of this with most all of us saying, yeah, that's a good Scream film. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying it's going to be the best sequel, but just to be better than 5 and 6 and to really kind of bring back that vibe of a Scream film, some good character chemistry and dialogue, I think 7 needs to do that. I really do.
I do too, and I think it's got a lot of things working in its favor. It's got Sidney Prescott, one of the only remaining final girls, from the beginning. Obviously, Sally Hardesty's gone, Nancy's gone. Her and Jamie Lee are like the only two that are still going.
The goats.
They really are, and Sydney has even a leg up because it's an unbroken, like never killed off
Timeline.
nothing. But so you got that. You have Matthew Lillard in the marketing. We don't know how he's going to be utilized in the film, but for like that first week, that doesn't matter.
Yep.
The way he's used, that's going to affect second week drop off or second week word of mouth. Like, so you got Matthew Lillard in the marketing. We're coming off a high with 5 and 6. 6 did great numbers. So you've got that working in your favor. You got the fact that it's the only major horror franchise being made right now. So like you got a lot of things working in your favor. And to be fair, a lot of these things aren't going to, like, a lot of the negatives that we're throwing out aren't going to
Mhm.
affect the casual fan. They're not going to, the new
Right.
fans, they're not going to care, honestly. And I think that's like the fact that there are so many new fans because of Jenna and because of 5 and 6, I think works as a negative for the Stu fans because
Mhm.
they've never seen Stu unless they've gone
Right.
back and watched the first one. They
Yep.
don't care about Stu Macher. They care about Billy because you see him in 5 and 6, but
Mhm.
to them, Stu Macher is just a name that's been mentioned, what, twice?
That's right.
So I think that's a negative, but I don't think the negatives we're mentioning are going to affect the new fans, which is a
Mhm.
good thing because that means that we're going to get money in there.
Yep.
And I just want it to hold off and be good enough that it gets the new fans and it gets the old fans. Like, it gives us what we want.
And what they want.
Yeah. Well, what they want is probably Jenna back. And
Yeah.
unless there's like a very surprise little like cameo at the end, I doubt it, but
Yeah. Yeah. I doubt it too. But hey, I don't know.
do you have a wild theory that you've come up with that you think would be great?
That I think would be great. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on how we quantify great. I can tell you some wild theories, or at least one wild theory that I keep hearing about that I'm like, bro, this I don't even see that happening. This whole cameo thing that everyone's been talking about. There's going to be a secret cameo and this and that. Um
Wait, I haven't
and
heard about this.
Yeah, supposedly there's going to be a secret cameo. That's been a rumor out. It's a rumor, like I at least for me, I haven't found any definitive evidence of it, but supposedly there's a secret cameo. Now whether it is or not, or what have you, really what it boils down to is I've heard so many people talking about Emma Roberts in this film. However it may play out, I've heard people talk about AI or whatever. Um, I don't see that. I just don't. And it's not because I don't like Emma Roberts. I love Emma Roberts and I love Jill. I love Four. But I just feel like, and you said it earlier, and I think this is a big part of it too. Four, the ideas that they had for Four going into what would have been Scream 5 obviously didn't materialize because West passed. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, it's not that they don't acknowledge that happened, obviously, but I just feel like they're not going to go down that, they wouldn't go down that path with Jill. Or at least there's no big reason to. With Billy, there's a reason. With Roman, there's a reason. With Stu, there's definitely a reason. I just don't see them doing that with Jill.
I mean, if they're trying to, if the goal is to dig at Sydney mentally, Jill makes sense because Jill was her
Yeah,
cousin.
it's her cousin. Yeah, her cousin. But yeah, well, look, hey, it could happen. But that's one theory that I've wrestled with a lot because like I said, I love Jill, but I just don't see that happening. Having Jill in this film, I just don't. So we'll
I
find out though.
yeah. I hadn't heard anything about a surprise cameo. If
Mm.
I did have, if I was to pick one, I would pick one very specifically for a flashback. You know who it'd be?
Oh,
Be Mikey Madison.
really?
So I want a flashback once Stu is revealed to be alive and all the questions start swirling of like where he's been, what he's been up to. I want to see like a camera pan in and start pushing into the front door of the Mocker house.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see hand reach out and knock.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the door open and it's Mike Madison.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flashback. And you just
Mm-hmm.
see this smile on her face, like this like devilish smile, like holy crap. And I want her to say, like, you're supposed to be dead. And then the camera flips and it's
Mm.
Stu Macher knocking on her door.
Ooh.
And cut from that point on, Stu was present there in some way.
And so this would be the end of 7. This would be the cliffhanger.
Yeah. Just like if there was a cliffhanger, have that be it. So because it doesn't affect the next movie, really.
Yeah.
It's just, oh yeah, something's been going on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he could have very well been involved in 4, or involved in 5.
5. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And having Amber, like just seeing Amber meet Stu for like a split second, because Amber obviously knew whose house she lived in.
Of course,
she knew everything. Like so, I think that would be if I had to go the surprise cameo route. That's what I would do.
That would be a cool way to do it. It really would. And like you said, it's kind of like it's locked into its own little thing. Like they could kind of go in so many different directions with it. But one thing that you do know is that there is that acknowledgement of 5. That connection to 5.
And you could do the exact same thing with Charlie from part 4.
You could. Yeah, you could. Man,
because
where's Marcus when you need him?
bro. But the craziest theory I've heard is the killer in part 7 is going to be Samantha Carpenter.
Yeah, I've heard that too, bro. That's not going to happen. I don't see that.
Here's the thing. I think if Tara were to get killed, Samantha would lose her ever-loving mind.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
And I think that would cause her to be like, oh, if I lost everything, everyone is losing everything. I think if we were to see Tara get killed, I'm like, you know what? Sam would go full dark side. We know she has the ability. Like,
yeah, she does.
We know it's in there.
She was the most vicious ghost face killer in 5 and 6.
Bro, she stabbed Bailey so many times.
I know.
So many times. She was trying to tenderize a chicken cutlet or something. Just
yeah,
crazy. But how crazy would that be?
It would be crazy, man. I don't know, man. Oof, I don't know. Like that probably would be the craziest of all things, just based upon, what has transpired, before they obviously brought Nev in and so forth. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy. Just thinking about it, like my mind is spinning.
Well, what was it? Skeet originally? Or Skeet, who just did the interview, who said that was the plan?
That was the plan. That's what he said. He said that's what he was. He said he didn't have the specifics, but that's what was talked about. Is that arc would play itself out to,
He drove his daughter to be a serial killer.
Yep. She went to the dark side.
I'm just saying, it could still happen, and it would make so much sense. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, who else would want to get rid of everything?
Yeah.
She kind of would. Like, she would want to burn down that house where her father was murdered. She would want to take away the woman who murdered her father.
Yep.
Like, it plays real well if it were her. Like, it answers a lot of questions. I'm just saying.
I agree. I absolutely agree, man. Real quick too in the chat, you guys been working hard, man. Shantae is saying, yeah, Emma Roberts, they all have been saying the same thing. Parker Posey, Laurie Metcalf, they're all like, yeah, I'd love to come back. And like, yeah, that's all we hear, And also, real quick, and for you as well, Eric, you guys, thank you so much for the super chats. I wasn't able to keep up with all of them, but you guys are just rocking and rolling in there. And Jack was trying to. You guys are too much, man. Oh Lord, seriously. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. You guys are all right. I know, man. Yeah, if he is alive, I definitely will be thinking about my good buddy. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
I was saying while you were gone, man, just having Steven hear his voice in the trailer.
Yeah.
How excited he would have been, man.
Yep. I know, man. I still think about, when we saw the trailer and how, when we were all talking about the trailer and how, that was something that he loved to do as well. And just, the passion and so forth, man. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. He's like, come on. Thanks, man. Almost there. I appreciate it, man. Seriously, thank you for doing that. And Solar Guy coming in as well. All of you guys. Jack says the only way Chad could be unalived is by something horrendous. Right. I know at this point it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they've done with him. DJ as well. Thank you so much as well, bro. Who is Scream 8's first kill scene? I have no idea.
I don't think we've met them yet.
I agree with that. I think, to me, the way that it would make sense to, this would be probably the last thing I'll say about it. The thing that would make sense leading into 8 is that we know Stu is alive, but maybe Sydney doesn't, or maybe she's not sure. It could be one of those things where, she's been messed with this whole movie, right? The whole AI deepfake stuff. She's not sure. And it leads into this next film where obviously there are going to be some other new characters. So I agree. I don't think we've seen that character yet.
Well, with the exception of part 3, every opening kill is someone we meet for the first time in that movie, or every opening attack. I'll say that because obviously Tara changed the game, which I appreciated. I really appreciated that they did something different for that. And then obviously 6 was great as well because it completely changed it up. But yeah, with the exception of 3 being Cotton, but even still, technically, no, Cotton does. No, Christine dies first.
Christine dies first, then Cotton.
He technically kills Christine first and then Cotton. So
yeah.
But with the exception of Cotton, the opening attack is always someone we meet for the first time, like in that movie.
Yep.
So I don't think we've met that character yet. What do you think about the animatronic? And
man,
so did you catch the cut? By the way,
yes.
There's 2 different. Okay.
Yes. I do think it's I think it would be so cool if it is actually a Ghostface killer, right? One thing that we were talking about, I think it was like it was like 2 weeks ago, talking about whether that could be Stu or not, and and I'm not saying it's not possible, hey, look, everything's pretty much on the table. Chad survived 17 stab wounds. Everything's on the table now for anything that happens in Scream, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know if it would be Stu, but I do think it very well could be the actual killer, an actual human, which would be awesome. Like that's the type of thing I'm talking about. Some fresh stuff in a Scream film, some things that we haven't seen before, some sequences that are crafted together that are really fresh and get you going and bring up that tension and the horror in a different way, that we haven't seen as much in a long time. You look at 5 and you look at a lot of those kills being just a quick boom, little quick stab and you're dead. It's over. I mean, the West kill was drawn out a little bit and it was cool going through the neck and all that, but still it's like, it'd be great to see some things that we haven't seen, and I think that we have a good chance for it in 7. I really do think so. At least that's what I would want to do if I was the filmmaker. I'd be like, man, let's give these fans, these long-time fans, something to think about with these sequences, with these kills, or with these attacks. That's I mean, at the end of the day, it's a horror film, right? It's a slasher. So that would be one of my big priorities. Whether or not it is for them or not, that's a different story. But it would be.
I like the paranoia that the animatronic brings. I do think it's an animatronic in one shot, and then a real.
Yes.
I think it's going to be something that they use to their benefit. I think it's going to be the animatronic in one shot. I think maybe the boyfriend will trade places with it, like to like hide and scare his girlfriend or something.
Mhm.
But I think it's going to be. Could you imagine like if there's there's a ghost face killer after you, and then like you round the corner and you look, and that animatronic or where that animatronic was is now completely empty, like there's no one there,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like, oh god, like
That would be cool, man.
right? Like there's a movie. Have you ever heard of a movie called Amusement?
Amusement. I
It's a
can't
real, it's
say
a
I do.
really weird horror movie from like a long time ago. Anyway, has something to do with clowns, but there's this part where this woman is house sitting, and
Mhm.
she's house sitting for like a relative or something, and they have this room full of huge clowns and like tiny clowns. This room just full of clown dolls, and like
Mhm.
by the door, there's one like a life size clown sitting in a like a rocking chair,
Mhm.
and she's on the phone and like looking down the hall and everything, and you see you see into the clown room, you see the big one, and she's talking on the phone. She's like, yeah, the clowns are a bit much, and she's like, yeah, sorry, we should have warned you about that. And she's like, yeah, that life-size one, it really gets me like every time I walk in. And just on the phone you hear her sister like, we don't have a life-size clown doll. And then you
Oh,
see down the
no.
hallway and that chair is empty, and like the immediate fear. And I'm like, could you imagine that sort of thing where you're like, oh yeah, maybe I left it over by the animatronic. You round the corner and it's gone,
Mhm.
and you're in a house where like at this point, what, at least 5 murders have happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you're like, I'm going to the car. Like, call me when this is done.
Right.
So I think it will be a mannequin at one point or an animatronic at one point, but I think it's going to
Mhm.
be switched by the killer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that would really make that scene pop. You know what I mean? Like, to really give it some depth. Like, and again, it's something that we haven't seen before. And it also, here's the other thing too, and I'm not saying that Ghostface should as a villain should like be shown in a different way, but it's kind of, this gamesmanship in a way. This is the type of stuff, like Michael likes to prop his victims up, and
Yeah,
they
like Predator
pop
and
up at
Prey.
the end. Yeah, kind of, having some fun. I don't want to say so much having some fun with it, but you get what I mean. Like, it's more than just boom, I stabbed Vince in the side of the neck. He's dead. Wow. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Next
like
victim.
Mickey, like the mind games Mickey played. That's
Yes,
something that I think is kind of unmatched so
I
far. Like
agree.
when Mickey was just like in her ear the whole time. Like, why would he go back
Yeah.
into that house?
Yep.
Kind of
Yep.
weird that med student. He only got just a cut, nowhere near anything major. Kind of
Mhm.
odd. And then
Yep.
even at the end, when
Yes,
Mickey's revealed, he's still in her head. Like
he is.
that kind of thing. Like I love that he kind of tormented her the whole time. Like being
Mhm.
able to do that. Like the animatronic really sets up like a possibility to do that without even talking, without even
Mhm.
taking off the mask.
I agree. I agree.
So I really want that to, and I know it probably won't be, probably not gonna play a big part in it, but it has the potential to make for something really paranoia inducing.
I hope so, man. Like I said, that's another big thing I want. I want the tension back. I want that anxiety, and I want, the feel, the unease. I want to have that feeling again. We haven't really had that in a long time in these films. And of course, some of it is, we again, we kind of become the experts of it. We know kind of what to expect, or the vibe that we're going to be expecting, and we're guessing things about the killer and guessing what they're going to do next. So it would just be nice to have some surprises. Like, if they could pull off some really cool surprises in this film, that'd be a win for sure, as far as I'm concerned.
I tell you what, if Jill shows up, I'm gonna be really fucking surprised.
That's so true. Oh my god. Uh
Very surprised.
And I love Jill, man. I really do.
She was great.
DJ, thank you for that super chat question, man. Seriously, that took us down a path. Hollywood Guide 2 saying, do we see a New Year's Day Scream trailer? I leave nothing to chance. I think it's quite possible because that would be Thursday. But something tells me it would be the 8th, which is the first full week of January, Thursday the 8th. I could be wrong though. I could be totally wrong, but I definitely think it's going to be before the middle of January. That makes sense to me. If it's anywhere after the middle of January, I think they're just way off on their timing.
Is it the first? Yeah, the first is when the Stranger Things 2 or the Stranger Things finale is. So
yeah. So it's almost like
I think it's possible, man. I think
well,
if they are smart, and it might not be possible because it's a Netflix.
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
But if they're smart and they can get that in there, man.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it'd be a win for us as Scream fans for sure.
I think it's in the next 2 weeks, definitely. I think you're right.
It's got to be, bro. Because look, man, I mean, like you said, we're less than 2 months out. Right? I mean, so I don't know. And I've also heard that this trailer is like a minute and a half, a minute and 40 seconds, something like that. At least that's the rumor.
Heard that. Yeah, I was about to say that's I don't know. I feel like I've been very absent from a lot of YouTube stuff and kind of absent with a lot of stuff in general, which has made things interesting. I'm late to a lot of news. Like the fact that I saw the trailer, if it wasn't for Alex Beebe, I wouldn't have known that the trailer was even out. Ooh. He sent it to me like that morning. I was like, okay, good. Let's jump on this. I tell you what I do want. I want the person who cut the trailer for oh my gosh, what was that last M. Night Shyamalan movie with Josh Hartnett?
Gosh. Oh, and and it was cool too.
It wasn't like Escape or something like that, but
Trap.
It's like a one trap.
Trap.
Whoever cut that trailer, they should be in charge of cutting trailers for every big budget movie.
That was a good trailer.
It did. It got you enticed. It didn't give you anything from like the second or third act.
Yeah, I know. It was a good trailer, man.
Get that person to cut together this next trailers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's gotta be the next 2 weeks, or else you're getting too close. And I haven't even looked up what's coming around, like what's coming out around like the week before, week of, and week after Scream 7. Have you?
No.
Like what its competition's going to be?
No, I as far as I don't see anything. I don't know of anything.
Yeah, I haven't either. But like I said, I feel like the Stranger Things is, I mean, it's culturally one of the biggest shows ever.
Yeah.
And if they are doing a finale in theaters, it's a horror show. Like, throw that trailer in front of that. Do what you got to do, because you're gonna get a lot of people and a lot of the right people.
Yep.
So
I agree, man. It's definitely the smart business thing. But again, the whole thing about Netflix, can they make that work? Hopefully. Well, I don't know. Netflix is a whole different conversation. I'll be honest. Because I like Netflix, but I also think that I don't know. It's hard, bro. It's hard. And Erica, that's what I'm saying. Go Ravens, right? Very cool. Jack, you're trolling. Oh man. They gotta end it like that. That's trolling, bro. That is not a spoiler. Oh man. Hey, Paul is like, I don't care who wins. I'm a Pats fan. Well, there you go. Woohoo. All right.
Pats did good this year.
Yeah, man. They turned it around. Seriously, no doubt about it. Well, look, guys, we're going to get ready to end it. I just looked at the time. I was like, wow, we've been on for a long time.
Whoa.
Time just flies.
I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
No, man. I mean, it's good stuff. But it was like time just flies. I looked at it like, wow, we've been almost on for 3 hours. That's pretty cool. Um, but guys, seriously, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun, though. Seriously, and Eric, it's always fun talking this stuff because, like I said, it's so easy to go down the rabbit holes, and that's what makes the franchise so special. That's why I think it has been able to stand the test of time because there is, just so many levels to these characters and to these films and all of the angles to them. Seriously. Um, but we'll definitely have to do this again. And I also wanted to make sure and I said this in the beginning of the stream, but also, just saying to everyone, I hope that everyone has had a good and happy holiday. And as we head into the new year, everyone's just awesome. They really are. It's a great community and everyone's just so, awesome with each other. And at this time of the year, that's needed. It really is. And like I said, sometimes people don't even know they need it, but they do. So thank you everyone for that. And you as well, Eric. Um, and Hollywood guy jumping in again. Thanks, man. I mentioned this, but it needs more marketing. I'm worried, to be honest. We are too, man. We are too. I like I said, I'm hoping that after the next couple days we start to hit the ground running hard. Like that's what we need to do. Like I honestly believe that wholeheartedly. We need to hit the ground hard, do the marketing, get this second trailer out, and just kind of get everyone ready for this because we're less than 2 months out. So totally agree with you. All right. Well, guys, seriously, we hope you have a great night. And seriously, happy holidays to everyone. Glad that you guys were able to come and hang out with us. And May, thank you so much. She's got links in the chat, links to Eric's channel. Make sure that if you're not subscribed to the Bearded Entertainment, make sure you guys do that. As always, we want to make sure everyone in the community is supporting everyone. So we will catch you guys next time. And as always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.